The Meadowlands, and there sits Continental Airlines Arena, the NBA playoffs continuing on TNT. And let's look at the hometown New Jersey Nets with Jason Kidd, Kerry Kittles, the emerging star Richard Jefferson, Collins and Martin on that front line. For the visiting Boston Celtics, Tony Delk, Paul Pierce, Walter McCarty with Tony Battie and Antoine Walker. Jason Kidd has had a remarkable playoffs so far. He is averaging a triple-double in his 6 playoff games so far this season. Paul Pierce has been equally as effective, 26 points a game, as Boston took care of Indiana. Our officials tonight, Bennett Salvatore, Tom Washington, and Scott Foster.
Very important for Boston to get off to a fast start here, Kevin. Last year in the playoffs against New Jersey, they were getting behind in double figures in almost every single first quarter.
And that fast start encompasses shooting well, because if they miss a lot of shots in Jersey gets the rebounds, they're going to run them out of here.
Collins is wide open.
And when we talk about the speed of New Jersey, it's not just in the fast break.
Jason Collins gives the Nets an early 2-0 lead.
And we see Jason Kidd applying full court pressure. You know, the knock on Tony Delk is that he's not a point guard. Tony Delk is an excellent NBA player, but he doesn't handle the ball all that great. So we're going to see a lot of pressure from Jason.
Here's Paul Pierce. Draws a triple team. McCarty was outstanding in the first series and nails a 3 in the Celtics by 1.
And that's so important that Paul find out where the help is coming from and get the ball to that guy, and that guy be able to make him pay for helping.
Here's Martin, who averaged a double-double in the series against Milwaukee. Jason Kidd slicing, opening up everything outside for Kerry Kittles. And Kidd gets the offensive rebound, the second offensive board for New Jersey, with Kittles making his move inside, tapped up, and Collins can't get it to go. And out of bounds it goes, along with Tony Delk, and it's off Boston.
Well, I'm afraid that is a weakness of Boston's defensive rebounding, especially against New Jersey, where you've got Martin and Jefferson so athletic.
It was Jim O'Brien who took over for Rick Pitino back in the mid-01 season. And in the playoffs for a second consecutive year.
And I think one of the most overachieving teams in the NBA. I think Jim O'Brien has done a fantastic job with this Celtics team.
Kittles and Kenyon Martin averaged 22 points a game in that first series. And here comes Antoine Walker, who this season has not had very good games against New Jersey.
But they negate some of the pressure by letting him bring the ball down the court, because then Delk can come down and Kidd is not on it.
That was a nice pass by Tony Battie, and Walter McCarty has nailed his second 3-point shot of the night.
And that is huge, because Walter McCarty is not a great offensive player, but he is a good defensive player and plays a lot of different positions, and he's a good complement to Pierce and Walker, who will draw a lot of attention.
It's Martin into Collins, who is shoved by Antoine Walker. And Walker picks up his first foul for the Boston Celtics.
You got to have a guy that is going to knock down these open shots. We see all the attention and good play by Battie. Not only a good catch, but a quick find of McCarty. He knew McCarty loves those corners.
Here's Jefferson, who is better in every statistical category in this his second year. Rebound is latched onto by Tony Battie, and here again comes Antoine Walker for the Boston Celtics.
And a good defensive possession again by Walter McCarty. Did a good job, his length, contesting that shot.
Walker has one roll in. John, in the regular season against New Jersey and Kenyon Martin, he's only been averaging about 15 points a game and below 30% from the field.
Well, you have to contain Kenyon Martin with this team too, and particularly on the boards. The Celtics started off by giving up offensive boards, and Kenyon is one of the most aggressive players the Nets have in going to the boards.
New Jersey has started the game 1 of 8. Boston 3 of 3, and here's Paul Pierce, and the Celtics have now hit every one of their 4 shots to begin the game, including 2 threes.
Well, that'll make it easy to get back in transition. You know, we talked about good shot selection, but just as important, I mean, you got to make shots to slow down the New Jersey Nets.
And Jefferson tries to carve his way inside. McCarty's defense is there. The half-court defense very good for the Celtics in the first round against Indiana, but a devastating move inside by Jefferson.
The problem with that was consistency in the possession. The Celtics did a great job of team defense. They let up and let him right through for a layup. They've got to stick with the team defense the entire possession.
It's Tony Delk for three, and no one attempts more three-point shots than the Boston Celtics, setting a record this year. Here's Kidd the other way, and his shooting has improved this season dramatically. And Delk can't hold on to it. Ripped away. Here's Jefferson dueling with McCarty. Our players Kerry Kittles, Danny.
Kerry Kittles is an excellent player. Did a nice job in the Milwaukee series. Made a lot of key shots down the stretch. But he's a great transition player. And he also does a good job of spotting up off of the penetration and post-ups of Kidd and Martin.
It's Martin for two outside. When he hits outside like that, John, a lot of things open up for New Jersey's offense.
Well, and I'm sure the Celtics would prefer him to take that shot as opposed to going inside. But he's starting to get a lot more confidence in his outside shot. But if I want him to take a shot, I'd rather see him do that than to get on the boards.
Trying to work his way inside is Paul Pierce, the All-Star, and he is fouled inside by Jason Collins of New Jersey.
I think this is going to be key right here. Antoine only shooting 28% against Kenyon Martin. Does a good job, backs down, gets the shot he wants, and he's got to create offensively. Pierce, just a great one-on-one player. Excellent defense by Kenyon Martin, and Pierce just made a tough shot.
Little one-on-one here, Pierce, now the double, and a nice steal by Kerry Kittles, and here is what New Jersey does so well. Kittles to Kenyon Martin.
Well, that's why it's very important for the Celtics to make the shots they take and protect the ball and don't give the net steals, because if they steal, they're going to run.
There was a 10-0 run to begin the game by Boston. Now a 6-0 run for New Jersey. Approaching 7 to play first quarter. The three by Pierce is long. It's picked up by Jefferson. New Jersey +1 in rebounding with a foul at the other end. Try to go inside. McCarty picks up his first foul for the Celtics.
This is what you got to love about New Jersey. I mean, they haven't had any. Boston's playing great. The second they get a ball, Boston is determined to get back, but they just can't run fast enough to get back and stop a dunk. They're not just getting open shots. They'll get dunks off fast breaks.
Well, that puts a lot of pressure on your shooting if you know a team's going to run like the Nets do, so you're so afraid to miss because you know they're going to take off.
Almost another offensive rebound by Martin, who was held that time, and a foul is again assessed the Boston Celtics, and Tony Delk picks up his first for Boston.
Well, that's what the Celtics have to clean up. They have to clean up the defensive rebounds and make certain that they clog up the middle, because if the Nets are going to overpower them, they're going to overpower them with offensive rebounds and hitting the offensive boards.
Nice pass inside. Jason Kidd to Jason Collins. We told you at the top, Jason Kidd led the NBA in the regular season in assists a game at 9.
Well, and Boston tries to trap those pick and rolls, and when you trap Jason, I mean, he just loves to pass. That opens it up for him. Most teams like to go under on Jason Kidd and make him make shots versus making passes.
When there's absolutely no interior defense for the Celtics, if they miss those traps and the guy gets inside, someone's got a free basket.
Well, Paul Pierce trying to concoct something as he spun off one screen and belted his way into another defending net. Martin picks up a foul there for New Jersey.
And look at Tony Battie as he strings Jason out right there. The weak side help. Antoine Walker's got a tough assignment. He's got Kenyon Martin on the weak side, and he's got Collins rolling to the basket. Doesn't give Collins the respect he deserves. Any NBA player can catch and lay it in from right there.
So it's Paul Pierce, John, at the free throw line for the Boston Celtics.
Kevin, that's one of the reasons why the Celtics are trapping, because they realize they're trying to cut down penetration, they're trying to cut down those interior cuts. But if you get through, there's absolutely no defense in there.
Right, and there's better ways to, I mean, they didn't penetrate off the dribble, but they penetrated off the pass. There's no interior defense. I think they need to play back on Jason Kidd, make him make shots, and keep Battie closer to the basket. Why would Tony Battie go out and guard Jason Kidd at the three-point line?
Celtics have led by as many as 8, and New Jersey has led by as many as 2. No substitutions either way, and about halfway through this first quarter. It's Martin. Enters a pass inside, knocked away by Boston's defense. Here's Delk.
Stop him, stop him.
And trying to capitalize on New Jersey's first turnover tonight. It's Antoine Walker to Delk. And chipping his way in. Got the matchup he wants with Martin, and the rebound by Jefferson of New Jersey. Down court, Martin at the other end.
See, that's just terrible defense, because the Celtics left early to come back, but everybody watched the ball and didn't watch the lane. Martin just got behind the defense and got a dunk. Yeah, visually, everybody can't focus on the ball. You claim the ball.
Kenyon Martin leads New Jersey with 6, and Walter McCarty with a couple threes leads Boston with 6 points so far.
We look look right here. Paul Pierce is right there, but he doesn't think Jason's going to throw it over the top of him.
Well, Danny began the game by saying this is the fastest team in the NBA, and they show it early here in the Meadowlands.
Doesn't Miller Lite taste great? Less filling!
Wait. What about this? Doesn't Miller Lite taste great? Great taste! Great taste!
Less filling!
Great taste!
Less filling! Less filling!
What do you think about that? That's art.
Tell it over a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
I've got an idea.
Drove on back to get to you.
Just a second. Pull forward. Hello. Stop. All right, back up. Yeah, right there. That's good. My boss is gonna kill me.
Searching for a wireless signal your business can count on?
When we're back here.
With Verizon Wireless, you can make business calls on the nation's most reliable wireless network.
Can you hear me now? Good.
For all your company's wireless needs, we mean business. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working.
Log on to SI.com for the latest NBA news, scores, and more from Sports Illustrated.
The NBA playoffs on TNT, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 non-stop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. Chrysler, cars to fall in love with. Verizon Wireless. Sign up for America's Choice Family Share Plan. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. And Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Miller Time.
You might want to lose the suit.
They're ready for the NBA playoffs, are you? The NBA playoffs are on TNT, but you can still catch back-to-back episodes of Law & Order tomorrow night at 7 on TNT.
After our game tonight, we're going to send you to San Antonio for Game 1 with the Spurs and Lakers. Mavericks taking care of the Blazers, but boy, that was a tougher series than I think Dallas had bargained for, and they'll take on the Kings. That's tomorrow night, Game 1 on ESPN with Danny Ainge, John Thompson, and Cheryl Miller. Kevin Harlan for the Meadowlands. We've got a 12-11 Nets lead. Boston is led by as many as 8. Here comes Boston with Paul Pierce. Neither team makes any substitutions after that change, as Pierce is on the board for the first time tonight.
That was a great shot, but I like it. They got the shot off the passing and movement of the ball rather than off the dribble and isolations. Twice off of dribble and isolations, they haven't got anything out of it.
We go inside to Kenyon Martin as another great pass was sent in from on top from Jason Kidd. The foul goes on Tony Battie. And Cheryl, what do you have?
Well, before the game, I spoke to Paul Pierce, and he said, you know, the key for him for this series is he's not going to try to come out and score 40-plus points. He's just basically going to take what the defense gives him, and that just means rebounding, getting other guys involved. So it doesn't mean that he has to take on the majority of the pressure offensively, which he says is going to relax him for this series, guys.
At the free throw line, Kenyon Martin knocks down his first, and he is shooting 75% in these playoffs, and he ties the game at 13 apiece.
Well, Kenyon Martin is such a force. They come out of the timeout. Excellent design by Byron Scott. Just a high-low pass, Jason Kidd to Kenyon Martin against the front and exploited the fronts that the Celtics put on the low post.
Game high 8 now, John, for Martin.
You know, and the full court pressure right here, too. The Celtics are really challenging the ability. The Nets are really challenging the ability for the Celtics to cope with full court pressure.
Here's Battie off to Delk and into Antoine Walker. And Martin has had his number, and Martin picks up a hand trick right there and a foul. It's number 2 on him.
That's a big play right there. That's a good play by Jim O'Brien, coming to Antoine Walker, and Antoine doing a good job of attacking the basket. Getting Kenyon Martin in foul trouble is huge.
Well, the two of them have really been battling. You look at that, Walker did a good job of sealing his man so they can receive. Then he's attacking him and makes the fade. I mean, it was a little tic-tac foul right there, if you're going to call it, particularly in relation to the amount of contact that was permitted before the shot.
Rodney Rogers now takes the place of Martin, who is very slow to walk off the floor. He has a history of getting in some problems with officials, but this year's been very clean. In fact, the last 2 years he's been almost a model citizen as Antoine Walker deploys the 3. Rebound by Jefferson. Here comes Kidd. and into the aforementioned Rodney Rogers, who was so good for Boston last year in the playoffs.
And Rodney's a good basketball player, but he doesn't have near the athleticism, offensive rebounding ability, or fast break potential of Kenyon Martin, and he's not as good a defender.
There's a foul on Collins of New Jersey as he tries to throw a hip into Paul Pierce, and that is the second on Collins, so big men foul problems now the concern for New Jersey.
Well, and you see Jersey getting off and getting down. One of the things that you want to do, you want to steal the ball, you want to get it off the rebounds. Every time they've gotten a stolen ball, they've been able to get down before the Celtics. This one is off of a rebound. You kick it out, you get back. The Celtics get back, but they don't identify the immediate danger.
What a great pass by Jason Kidd on that last one, though. He just knew in the back of his head where Kenyon Martin was.
Mark Clown is now checked in for the Boston Celtics along with Eric Williams, and here comes the Antoine Walker with the rebound by newly instated net Aaron Williams. Will pass ahead to Rodney Rogers. Inside, Paul Pierce with another rebound for Boston.
And that just goes to show you, Jason Kidd, how valuable he is. Right there, Rodney Rogers is not the swiftest of feet, but everybody is out running because they know they're going to get the reward.
Eric Williams, Danny, these second-line players, this bench at Boston was so key in their series against Indiana.
Well, you know, Eric Williams is a better offensive creator in his own right than Walter McCarty. He doesn't have the length, or he's not the three-point shooter that McCarty is, but they can go to him and create some offense, take some pressure off of Walker and Pierce.
It's Rodney Rogers for three. And all of New Jersey's 17 points tonight have come from front court players. Nothing from the backcourt so far.
Well, one of the things that they're doing, Danny mentioned the fact of the speed. First of all, if you've got a guy like Jason Kidd, a lot of guys in this league would be a lot faster because he can deliver the package to you. The other thing is the fact that the Celtics in getting back are not identifying people. They just run into a spot.
Rodney Rogers just nailed the first three-point shot tonight for the New Jersey Nets, showing defense first and then the three later on.
Well, look at him run, too. He's so far behind, but then Jason Kidd, excellent. This is why people love playing with Jason so much, is he's always unselfish, but there's two guys running. Again, Boston's defense had a breakdown. They're running at Jason. Jason can make those shots, but you don't want to let him become the assist guy where everybody on the team stays happy.
There's Pierce driving the baseline and goes up against the backboard. Jefferson with the foul. So they've got Jason Collins with two. Kenyon Martin's got two. And Jefferson picks up his first right there. It was physical last year. We expect it to be physical at the beginning of this series.
And the Celtics, you think of most of the time, is penetrating, pitching it out, taking the three. Now they seem to be doing a lot more posting up, a lot more penetrating and trying to score. As a result of it, they're starting to pick up some early fouls on the Nets, which is a good strategy.
Grant Long will check in for Antoine Walker. So it's J.R. Bremer, an undrafted rookie who's started half the season for the Celtics. Pierce, Long, along with Eric Williams and Mark Blount. That's the five for Boston. And New Jersey out there with Jefferson, Lucius Harris in the game for the first time with Rodney Rogers, Aaron Williams, and Jason Kidd with the ball.
I love Lucius Harris. He's a good player, smart player, and an excellent outside shooter.
They go inside, and a Boston foul. And this goes on Eric Williams of Boston, who just picked up the foul. But this bench, like we mentioned before, has come up big, especially in these playoffs.
Well, Blount, Williams, and Bremer, those three have really played a lot of minutes and a significant role. And they don't lose anything when they go to the bench with those three guys. The guys that they hurt losing are Walker and Pierce. Those are the two guys they need to contribute every single night.
Well, they need aggressiveness also from their bench and coming in, particularly on the boards, because that's one of the places where the Nets started this game and really banging on them a little bit.
Little lane violation right there as both teams are in the penalty. That was on veteran Grant Long. Free throw shooting so far. The Nets are 2 of 3 and the Celtics are 3 of 4.
Grant Long gives him some toughness, some experience, and he should help on the glass. He doesn't go after a lot of rebounds, but he'll put a body on somebody every time.
Here comes Boston the other way, 5 of 11 from the field to start the game. Paul Pierce has the last 7 Boston Celtic points.
I think that New Jersey would apply a little bit more pressure with Bremer coming into the game and playing. Not that he can't bring it up, but Jason Kidd, one of the great defenders, and with Walker on the bench, he was so key in the Celtics breaking the pressure.
Rodney Rogers launches a three. Williams trying to tap it in. As the Boston Celtics are -5 in rebounding so far in this first quarter. It's Pierce to Long. They want to swing it around. There it ends up for J.R. Bremer, picked up by Kidd. A little different matchup for Kidd in this series, going against Gary Payton in that Milwaukee round 1 series. It's Eric Williams for 2.
Big play by Pierce. Very patient right there. He knew they were going to double team. Saw the double team can't come, get a wide open shot. Although Pierce can turn and get a shot on Lucius Harris and Kittles in the post, I believe, anytime he wants. He is trying to let the game just come to him.
Here comes New Jersey, 7 of 20 from the field.
And even though the Celtics are playing a man, that defense is really collapsed back in the lane. It almost gives the appearance as if they're playing a zone defense.
Harris missing the 3. Bremer. This kid was grabbing on to Long. Bremer for 3. Rebound by Williams. And Kidd shifting and changing, and Rodney Rogers, the ex-Celtic. Launching and missing another 3. Kidd keeps it alive as he volleyballs it over to Harris.
He's just such a determined player. He just out-hustles people. He's a great athlete as well, but that determination is what makes him special.
And that's some of the same determination the Celtics need to get Danny on the defensive boards. They're having difficulty getting back, and they're having difficulty rebounding.
Looks like we got ourselves another situation down here.
One man risks it all to save a town.
Tell your boss I'm coming to get him.
Don't miss Steven Seagal in Fire Down Below. Saturday at 8, one of the Saturday night new classics on TNT.
Doesn't Miller Lite taste great?
Yeah, I like it because it's less filling.
Great taste! Less filling! Great taste! Wait a minute, man. You know, I'd really like to start communicating better.
Oh, and I'd like to create a friendship where we support each other's growth.
Now there's a commercial I'd like to see. Hot guys. That's what you need for strong emotion.
Tell it over a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
I've got a good idea.
This shirt is chafing me.
Mine too.
Drove on back to get to you.
Think it's hard to lose weight and get in shape? Think you have to go to a gym or exercise so hard it hurts and so long you tire out? Well, think again.
As the New Jersey Nets go over the scouting report, they know they got Jason Kidd to throw at the Boston Celtics, who last year, as we mentioned before, averaged that triple-double against the Celtics. He was sensational last year in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Hey, he's like a guy that, you know, scouting reports don't mean anything on that. He does so many things. He adjusts to your scouting report.
Well, and the other thing, too, is that the speed of the team lies within the fact that he passes and rewards you for running. You put Jason Kidd on any team, and it becomes fast.
Of course, Magic Johnson, last one to do that. Back in 83.
Yeah, he was a pretty good player.
Yeah, he was.
Magic Johnson guy.
I like that rebounding column for guard. Pulling you 11 pounds.
Magic was 6'9", and Jason Kidd is 6'3".
Here's Jefferson over Eric Williams. And Richard Jefferson, with his team only shooting about 35%, has 5 points. Kenyon Martin on the bench with 2 fouls has 8 to lead New Jersey. 7 points by Paul Pierce leads the Boston Celtics, who are shooting 43%.
That's the part of Richard Jefferson's game that I like. I mean, he was so confident in that shot, and when he becomes a great 17-foot jump shooter, he is going to be an all-star in this league, I believe. That jump shot is good, but not as good as it can be or will be.
Paul Pierce on the bench. Walker is back in. Here's Bremer. McCarty back in the game and slips it down low. Caught by Williams, who rolls right around Jefferson, who just stood there.
And that's where Williams is tough. Always has been tough, even when he was at Providence College. Inside with his back to the basket, he's extremely aggressive against guys who are even bigger than he is.
And that's why he's an important player for the Celtic team off the bench. I like him coming off the bench because when Pierce and Walker are rested, they can give him some more opportunities. When he's in the starting lineup, he doesn't get many.
Look at the hustle of Bremer, and McCarty finishing at the other end, but it was undrafted rookie J.R. Bremer out of St. Bonaventure that made that happen, and McCarty's got a Boston high 8 points so far.
And that's what you have to do to stay in the league when you're undrafted. Get on the floor and get loose balls.
Celtics by a point here, and Williams missing right there. Picked up by Eric Williams of Boston.
The Celtics say, hey, we can fast break. I'm not sure that's a fast break.
Antoine Walker fighting against Rodney Rogers, and Antoine Walker now has 4.
And that kind of negates the pressure again, because Walker comes down against a bigger defender that's not able to put as much pressure. That also takes the pressure off of the Celtics' other point guards who aren't really that good.
No fouls to give either way. Here comes Kidd. Shot clock is off. Game clock is what you see. Jefferson wheeling around Williams. And a rebound by McCarty. That's the way the first quarter comes to a close. The rebounding advantage, no surprise here. +5 for New Jersey, including on the offensive glass, where New Jersey 6-0 over the Celtics offensive rebounding. The hustle of J.R. Bremer, things that have made the Boston Celtics an entrant into the NBA's Eastern Conference second round. And then Antoine Walker contributing 4 in the first quarter. It's the Boston Celtics and the New Jersey Nets in a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals on TNT.
Hello.
Hey, it's Susie. I'm in the neighborhood. I thought I'd stop by.
I don't know if that's a good idea. My place is kind of,
I've got some Bud Light.
Come on up.
Nice place.
Thanks. I'll put this in the fridge. Make yourself at home.
Okay.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
A bowling ball.
Make it a Bud Light.
I lost the signal. Pull forward, pull forward. Hello, stop. All right, back up. Yeah, right there, that's good. My boss is gonna kill me.
Searching for a wireless signal your business can count on?
We're back here.
With Verizon Wireless, you can make business calls on the nation's most reliable wireless network.
Can you hear me now? Good.
For all your company's wireless needs, we mean business. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
The first major advance for the fastest treatment of athlete's foot is Lamisil AT. Lamisil AT is the first non-prescription medicine proven to kill the fungus with just 1 week's use. Not even a prescription can beat that. Lotrimin AF and Tinactin still expect you to treat for 4 weeks. Who's going to do that? When your feet itch and burn, using Lamisil AT 1 week keeps you athlete's foot free 3 months. Lamisil AT. There's no better way to cure athlete's foot.
You can be fast, or you can be strong. Or you can find a way to be both. What's my thirst? Doing whatever it takes.
It's about that time.
What's yours?
It's about that time.
Get into the drama.
You want me. I can feel it.
Charmed, Tuesdays at 10 on TNT.
I think it's being aggressive. That's my best game. And when I'm that way, I play extremely well on both ends. And when I'm out there scoring, it takes the pressure off of Paul and Antoine, guys like myself, Eric Williams, Walter. When we're scoring, you have another third threat, and that's what we need out there. I don't think we need to go out there and put so much pressure on Paul and Antoine. They're going to carry that load. They're going to do what it takes for us to score. But we got to help those guys out.
That's Tony Delk, a former teammate of Jason Kidd's down in Phoenix. We begin the second quarter with Danny Ainge, John Thompson, and Cheryl Miller. This is Kevin Harlan. The Boston Celtics have led by as many as 8. New Jersey has led by as many as 4. Walker out there with Bremer, McCarty. Along with Eric Williams. A long-range shot won't drop. It's the board and the shot clock and deflects, and they'll go back to New Jersey out there with Anthony Johnson for the first time, Lucius Harris, Aaron Williams, Richard Jefferson, and Rodney Rogers. On the bench, Kenyon Martin with 2 fouls.
That's a terrible shot. No pass, off the dribble, step back, three-pointer. I don't understand. I mean, he can get that shot as the shot clock's down, but explore, move the ball around, see what they can get. Everyone's shooting the ball well right now.
Well, and that's why the Nets have to definitely tighten up, because they want to run. They've got to defend well to cause some misses on the Celtics' part so they can get out and run.
Jefferson, in the absence of Martin, has grabbed 5 rebounds, has 5 points. And the 8 points by Martin leading New Jersey so far. 8 points by McCarty leading Boston. And they slip it inside. Jefferson finding Aaron Williams, and he was wide open inside.
Shouldn't be, though, Danny. With the defense collapsed the way the Celtics are collapsing, they shouldn't be able to get an interior pass that easily.
Well, there's only one guy out there that you really don't want to leave an open outside shot, and that's Lucius Harris. Everybody else should be defending the paint in the basket. Too many easy baskets for the non-scorers, for the role players of New Jersey. Dunks and lay-ins are unacceptable.
Eric Williams averaging 9 points a game. Puts that in. He's off the bench early. He's got 6 points already in 6 minutes.
And their go-to plays, too. They're not secondary offensive plays. They're offense that he's creating as they run the ball for him, versus Walter McCarty has 8 secondary points.
Aaron Williams, who has bounced all over the NBA. He's played in the CBA in Italy, with Utah, Milwaukee, played overseas in Greece. He's been with Denver, Vancouver, Seattle. I mean, almost every team in the league, and he has found a home here in New Jersey.
Well, in that possession, they actually just challenged him to take that jump shot.
There's a quick foul. It goes on Bremer for the first time for Boston.
Well, like Coach said, I mean, he is very difficult at defending in the post. But right there, look at that. Double team outside on the trap on the pick and roll. Aaron Williams is just the beneficiary of good execution on the offense coming out of the timeout.
And if you look at the Celtics defenders, all of them are off of their players right now. They want you to beat them on the outside shot more so than the penetration.
And Lucius Harris knocks it in. Lucius Harris is the first guard, John, to score any points tonight for New Jersey. And that's saying something to guys like Kittles and Jason Kidd in your backcourt.
Well, you're absolutely correct, because the one way that the guards will get scores is if they defend and get out on transition baskets. And the Celtics are doing a good job of being patient in their offense and picking them apart and getting good shots.
It's Bremer for 3, and a rebound clutched down 2 by Harris. Boston has hit 2 threes. The Nets have hit 1.
Well, the reason the guards aren't scoring either is you got Collins and Williams that are wide open. They're not even defending those guys, and so they're open everywhere else. They're getting easy lay-ins.
There's a Boston foul. Walter McCarty was inside getting that rebound and tried to clear some room, as did Eric Williams, and Eric Williams picks up his second foul as Kenyon Martin will retake the floor for New Jersey. He's playing with a couple fouls.
It's interesting how much slower the Nets become once you take Jason Kidd out of the ball game.
Isn't that the truth?
You run to be rewarded.
There you see some of the scoring leaders for Boston. Vaught and Williams will check out. Tony Battie is back in the game with Paul Pierce. J.R. Bremer is out as well. Tony Delk is back in for Boston. Here's Lucius Harris. He goes inside to Williams. Picked up by Antoine Walker.
And there's a good job of recovery. Trapping the pick and roll, weak side big, rotates to the other big, and that's what they have not been doing.
Wide up, nice pass by Antoine Walker inside to Tony Battie.
Good play by Battie, flashing. Terrible breakdown on defense. Rodney Rogers no one ever matched up with Battie. Rogers couldn't locate him.
And sometimes that just comes down to pointing and talking.
New Jersey is shooting 37% from the field, but Aaron Williams has come off the bench to put in 6 points, grabbed 5 rebounds in 8 minutes of work.
Well, they don't mind those outside shots. I mean, Aaron Williams is going to make some of those, but they want to keep him outside. But what they have a problem with is when Aaron Williams gets those easy dunks.
Boston shooting 50% as they've got Paul Pierce rollicking down the lane and a foul called. And it goes on Aaron Williams, I believe, who picks up the foul. We take a break here in New Jersey.
That ain't no shot.
No, that's a crime.
They're ready for the NBA playoffs. Are you? The NBA playoffs are on TNT, but you can still catch back-to-back episodes of Law & Order tomorrow night at 7 on TNT.
Midnight Tea Times at the Iceland Open, presented by Amstel Light. Go to AmstelLight.com to
alone have the fifth freedom, the right to spy, steal, and destroy to ensure that American freedoms are protected. You are no longer Agent Sam Fisher. You are a Splinter Cell.
Now redefined to push your PlayStation 2 to the limits.
What are they looking at? This is an easy call. Nothing's proven to beat the itching and burning of athlete's foot better than, boom, Tough Actin Tinactin. It's the only one clinically proven to prevent athlete's foot.
The ruling stands, Tinactin's still the toughest.
Good call. Boom, Tough Actin Tinactin.
Word has it someone here's trying to make a collect call. Calm down, people. All you gotta do is dial down the center with 1-800-CALLATT. It's free for you, cheap for them. What do you say we get up out of here and go hit a disco? Or not.
Save on every call. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Midnight Tea Times at the Iceland Open, presented by Amstel Light. Go to AmstelLight.com to win yours.
Coming up next from the SBC Center down in San Antonio, Texas, the 5th seed Los Angeles Lakers dispatching Minnesota in 6 games, take on the Western Conference top seed San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs won that season series 4 games to none. Well, the coaching of Byron Scott trying to get a feel for how his team is doing. He's shooting 39%, Danny, for the game.
Well, and his defense is giving up 50%, and that is why Boston is in this game. They're shooting 50%, and they've shot 36% against New Jersey in the regular season. So that's the number that Byron Scott is most concerned about right now.
And that 50% defensive number reflects the fact also why the Nets aren't getting fast break baskets. If the Celtics are scoring, they're going to be able to get back easily.
And Paul Pierce knocks down a couple right there. 5 of 6 from the line, 9 points. That is a Boston high. Pierce has shot all 6 Boston free throws in this game tonight.
And they like to run plays for Lucius Harris coming out of timeouts.
Harris and Kenyon Martin. Picked up by Tony Battie. Boston still working from a deficit and rebounding. -5 are the Celtics on the glass so far. Here comes Boston, 50% from the floor. Nice shot.
And they're doing a great job, Kevin, of taking their time and getting a good shot selection as opposed to coming down for the most part and throwing up bad shots. That's why the high percentage is there also.
Pierce has got 11. First player in the game in double figures. Lucius Harris double team and somehow got it to go.
I really like that kid. He makes a lot of shots. One of the most underrated players in the game.
Here comes Delk.
You know, Pierce has a 3-inch advantage on him, though, and he can get that shot over him and Kittles when he wants in the post.
Pierce finds Walker. Great pass on top from Paul Pierce.
And that's a play they work on all the time. You see that whenever Boston plays, they get those back doors off those post-ups. Pierce and Walker have a great thing going, great communication.
Some contrast in defense out here. The Celtics are collapsed back, daring the Nets to shoot over the top. The Nets are trying to stop the threes of the Celtics.
Rebound by Pierce. John, do you think it is a defense-first mentality for Boston?
Well, I don't think it's a defense first. I think it's offense first, Kevin. But I think they're very conscious of the fact that where their weakness is. So they cover it. They try to clog the middle up anyway.
Look how quickly Boston got back on defense that time.
It's because there's no Jason Kidd out there. Look at Walter McCarty was open out ahead. If Walker could have found it.
Walker, Delk, trying to whittle his way inside. And back on top to Pierce. They'll reload. Shot clock at 14. Screen by Battie and a foul. Tony Battie of Boston. That's a second on Battie of Boston.
So you see the pressure right here on the post-up, just a little flash. Again, there's ball pressure on the ball. Lucius Harris doing a good job, but that is a play like a quarterback being blitzed. He knows where the guy is going to cut and just trust that he'll be there. Beautiful pass.
Jim O'Brien's going to pull Battie with 2 quick fouls. They put back in Mark Blount, who was a 3rd-year player from Pitt. Jason Kidd back in the game for the Nets. He has taken 2 shots. He has not scored so far. A couple assists and a couple rebounds for Jay Kidd. He's got it right now from Jason Collins back in the game. And a whistle and a turnover on New Jersey. And a
foul on Kenyon Martin.
A technical on Martin. That's what it was. It was a T.
And a 3rd foul.
And he's got 3, and so he's going to sit in a hurry. Now, the technical foul bug has not been one of the issues for him. He is trying to control that more as he has been in this league longer. Here's Paul Pierce. Can't hit the free throw.
Well, picking up your 3rd personal at this point is not a smart thing to do. Right. They need his aggressiveness and his ability to go to the board. You love and you respect his aggressiveness, but he's got to have that under control. This team needs him tonight.
Celtics have led by as many as 8, and New Jersey has led by as many as 4 in this game.
That's always frustrating. You know, a guy like him, he's so highly emotional, so competitive, and he's so ready to play. And you get out there and, you know, the officials don't allow you. I'm not saying it's the official's fault, but I'm saying that whatever the reason, that's what he feels.
Pierce just sucker punched Jason Collins. And not the literal sense, in the figurative sense, because he made such a deceptive move that Collins bit. That is his third foul. You know, some players, Danny, are just masters at just getting that foul out of the defending guy with just a small little seductive move like we just saw from Pierce.
You know, and he takes advantage of the youth and inexperience of Collins. As Pierce comes off the screen right there, he pump fakes, he traveled 3 steps, and there's not much contact. Pierce went into Collins.
And most of those guys who know how to bait you into a foul, those who shoot a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Collins will have to leave. So now Collins has 3, and Martin has 3. And Rodney Rogers, Williams, and Richard Jefferson up front. They got Kittles and Kidd in the New Jersey backcourt. Brent Long, Danny, has come back in for Boston up front.
Well, and I think that, you know, right there, Pierce had to travel to initiate the contact. So there shouldn't have been a foul because he traveled to get the contact from Collins. I'm not even sure there was enough contact to determine a foul.
No one in double figures yet for New Jersey. 8 for Martin, but he's on the bench with 3. 13 for Pierce, leading all scores. As Jason Kidd scoreless inside. Williams up high and down hard.
The Nets did a great job of moving those guys who were congested under the basket, and that enabled them to get that basket.
Nice steal by Kidd. Shoves it down court to Kittles. Into Pierce. The foul, and he can't get the 2.
Jason Kidd is amazing. He's not even sweating out there right now. I mean, he just comes off the pick and roll, sees the trap, just waits patiently. There's Aaron Williams for the dunk, then the great steal.
You must have loved coaching that guy.
Oh, man, I love watching this guy play every time. The game's easy.
Paul Pierce picks up his first foul. New Jersey getting some help from Aaron Williams. With Martin in trouble, Aaron Williams has put in 8 New Jersey points, all in the second quarter.
Is here. Choose your weapons with MLB Extra Innings from DirecTV. American or National League. High heat or frozen rope. Gold glove or... With up to 45 out-of-market games a week throughout the regular season. You choose the matchups, the players, the games you want to watch. From A-Rod to Zito, we've got Major League Baseball covered. MLB Extra Innings from DirecTV. Order now and get the regular season for only $159. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS.
When it comes to secret agents, only one number counts.
You mean like 007?
Yeah, except only I'm gonna be 009.5. That's a little innuendo.
1, 2, 3. Columbia Pictures presents.
Let's do this then.
2 weapons of mass destruction.
Oh!
That's everything we're gonna be doing on the mission.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I Spy.
See if she's got a sister. If she got a sister, it's just gonna be the 3 of us. What'd you say your name was?
Rated PG-13.
The NBA playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Amstel Light, the beer drinkers like beer. And Bank One's Personal Platinum. Issued by us, created by you.
Ernie Johnson in Atlanta, still to come tonight on TNT. Game 1 between the Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs. There's the MVP of the NBA, Tim Duncan. He'll lead the Spurs against the Lakers just a bit later. Back to Kevin.
And here's how the MVP voting went. Kevin Garnett finishing second to Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, and Tracy McGrady. Those 4 guys constitute the future of the NBA, all in their 20s, all blossoming right before our eyes, all sensational players. We got some great players in this game, too. Paul Pierce, Jason Kidd, Antoine Walker, Kenyon Martin. But Martin's got 3 fouls. There's Jason Kidd's wife, Jamana, and TJ. He still got that. He got the broken collarbone, doesn't he, Danny, from when?
Yeah, Jason took him out.
That's
on
right.
a loose ball.
That's right. All 12 New Jersey points this quarter have come from the bench, which is interesting. Aaron Williams has put in 8. And Lucius Harris has put in 4. The backcourt of New Jersey, the starting backcourt, no points until that first point right there by Kerry Kittles.
That's one of those tough men stories. Jason to tell his son, son, in my day I was so tough I broke your collarbone hustling.
And then I was so tough I went to the next game with a broken collarbone. As Pierce is swatted away by Aaron Williams. And they crash and collide in an Aaron Williams foul. That is the second on him. Danny, would it concern you if you were Byron Scott that you've got some pretty big players on your bench in foul troubles, namely Kenyon Martin with 3?
Well, Kenyon Martin is the key. When Collins, they have a replacement. Aaron Williams has come in and filled in nice, and those guys kind of tag team at that position. But Kenyon Martin is your second best player, and they need him in the game, and they need his head right. But the thing that concerns me is Paul Pierce going to the line for his 11th free throw in the first half already.
He's 7 of 10 so far.
And that's one of the reasons why it would concern you, Kevin, because the Nets have to be aggressive. They have to get out. The Celtics are very good shooters, and now they're isolating, going 1-on-1, 2-on-2, so the Nets can't get in too much foul trouble.
Pierce is the only one who has taken free throws tonight for Boston. Here comes Kidd lining on Delk, and it's his first jump shot tonight. And it comes at the 5:20 mark of the second quarter.
Jason is one of those guys that he kind of feels when the game needs him to score. And he'll do whatever's necessary to help his team win. But he's totally satisfied with not shooting the basketball.
Pierce drawing a crowd. That leaves McCarty open. He's nailed 2 threes. There's number 3 as Walter McCarty, who drilled these shots in that series against Indiana, picks up where he left off here in round 2.
And that's huge. You better keep hitting those because there's not a person on the same side of the floor as Walter McCarty when Pierce has the ball.
Not a living soul.
Rogers trying to do his best McCarty impression with the rebound by Pierce. And up to Delk. He'll throw up a 2-point shot. And a rebound by Rogers.
And Tony knew that he short-armed that a little bit. He just didn't quite follow through on the shot as Jason came out to contest it.
Here comes Kidd. Turnovers even at 5. Great spin move by Jason Kidd to get inside. And he traveled. Wipe it away. That was a sweet play to watch. 6th New Jersey turnover.
Well, as Jason spins in, he comes in to initiate the contact. Let's see if anybody else touched the ball. Antoine Walker knocked the ball out of his hands. That's a live ball. That should not be traveling.
Presence of mind.
It looked too good to call.
That's probably right, John. I think you summed it up real well.
Well, and that's a tough one because, you know, you can't tell. I mean, the referee might not have been able to see the ball actually touch Antoine's hands because his hands were just standing there.
Nice pass, McCarty, who drew some defense his way, and that leaves Antoine Walker with some room inside.
Well, the Celtics are doing a good job of isolating situations and capitalizing on the Nets' defense because if the Celtics score again, that negates the break. But I like the fact that they're not just coming down and heaving up 3-point shots.
Well, I like the fact that Antoine Walker's got 2 easy lay-ins now, and that's important for him because they need him to score.
Eric Williams picks up the Boston foul. That is the 3rd on him.
Well, at some point they might start, you know, respecting Walter McCarty, but Walter McCarty gets it in the transition, and he gets it on the half-court offense. And right there, Petit, nobody is guarding him in transition.
But Danny, the point is, these other guys, it's not Pearson, it's not Antoine Walker, it's the supporting cast, for lack of a better term, that's helping Boston right now.
Well, but Pearson, those guys are drawing all the attention.
How about that shot?
And that's exactly what is happening, what Danny said, that what happens is that they're putting so much emphasis on trying to go after Pierce, go after Walker, that the supportive cast is getting in position to get easy baskets, and obviously they're responding.
Blount just picked up his first foul after that scintillating shot by Jason Kidd. I think Danny summed it up right. He scores when he needs to score.
And see, right there, Jason was going in to pass. He was going, and he heard the whistle on the drive and decided to shoot it up off the glass in case it went in. He's great at making trick shots. Very difficult in a horse game.
Does he practice those, Danny, away from the regular games?
He does. He's got one of the most unorthodox games. You know, I mean, there's nobody that I know that's like Jason Kidd.
There's a steal, another turnover. Kittles against Walker. And just like that, Boston's lead is down to a point, and Paul Pierce, guarded by Kittles, and 3 points inside to Mark Blount.
Well, you talk about terrible defense on the part of the Nets. I mean, they're breaking down inside, too.
Do you think these guys respect Paul Pierce? Look at this. He's running at the hash mark. They just go and trap him. Kerry Kittles, very good job of being active with his hands. And you see how fast Kittles is.
Rogers for 3. Rebound by Delk. doing their best New Jersey impersonation. Rejected by Rodney Rogers on the shot by Antoine Walker. At the shot clock at 15, 3 minutes to play in the first half. That's the first offensive rebound by Boston tonight.
And one of the few fast break attempts that they had, and they got that block.
Pierce again goes inside, and a foul on Jason Kidd. It was his first.
Well, right here, great hustle by Rodney. Almost got the pass, but Antoine going up there, not much lift. Rodney, not a great athlete, but a great block right there. Excellent play. And then we see Jason Kidd, Paul Pierce going at Jason Kidd with the advantage on the block at the other end.
Maybe this isn't the best time to say it, but I think you're really beautiful.
Well, I've always been attracted to you too, Paul.
Wait, hold on one sec, babe. Excuse me?
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by May 12th.
You are now free to move about the country.
I love that fire grill, citrus thrill, flavor pill, Chili's is the place for me. I love that special twist, flavor kiss, never miss, Chili's is the place to be.
Boldly seasoned citrus-fired chicken, spicy garlic and lime shrimp, Chili's citrus fire chicken and shrimp. Want more flavor?
Picture the moon glow, it dazzles my eyes, and I love you, fresh and deep as ocean's new.
The best things in life are pure, especially when it comes to water. Aquafina, purity guaranteed.
Pure and simple just for you.
Tomorrow on American Morning, starting over after the storms. I'm Bill Hemmer. Dramatic survivor stories as people rebuild their homes and piece their lives back together. It takes a lot of courage, and we'll talk to some of them. CNN tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern.
John Thompson, when New Jersey opened up their scouting report over the weekend on the Boston Celtics, what did they read about Paul Pierce?
So what's new? Everybody writes about Paul Pierce when they open up the scouting report, but the most significant thing that happens is that the support players have responded to his performance, Kevin. That when Paul Pierce is going well, he draws so much attention that it gives other guys a situation to step up, and these guys have responded tonight, and that's what's so significant for the Boston Celtics right now.
Tell you what else, Danny, there's no one else on this Boston team that has tried a free throw tonight, but Paul Pierce is number 12, and he nails that. Now he is 9 of 12 with the game-high 15 points. All right, Gerald Miller, what do you have?
Well, I spoke to Eddie Jordan, the assistant coach for the Nets, and he said one of the major concerns about Pierce was preventing his scoring explosion. No open threes, no parades to the free throw line, and no direct seams to the rim. And Danny and Coach, I got a question. If you double on Pierce, he finds the open guy who's knocking down the shots. And if you play him straight up, he's going to the free throw line. How do you defend there?
I double him. I make the other guys beat him. Richard Jefferson, beautiful jump shot. He's so confident with that shot. But I'm going back to Paul Pierce. I think that Paul Pierce is doing a better job in that new Indiana series of finding the open man. He used to penetrate just to get to the basket or score, but right now he's got 5 assists, and he's made 5 excellent passes.
He averaged, John, 6 assists a game in the series against the Pacers.
And those passes that Danny are talking about that Paul is making are the things that are getting him open. Anytime you get doubled, you get tripled, gimmick defense, you got to be able to make the defense pay, and that's how you'll end up getting open if you're a scorer.
Kittle's just picked up a foul, and here's another free throw opportunity for Paul Pierce.
Well, the thing I love about Paul Pierce, too, is right now he knows they're in the penalty. So he is forcing them to double. He's taking Kerry Kittles, who he has about 25, 30 pounds on, and he is going down and making them defend. Right here, they don't want to let him just rise up on Kittles and shoot. So Paul is just going to back his way down. He's a lot stronger than Kittles, and the double team better come or Kittles is going to foul him or give up an easy opportunity.
John, as we know, no single player in the NBA attempted and made more free throws this season than Paul Pierce.
Well, and that's a very smart sign on his part, too, because of the fact that not only is he just heaving up threes, he's baiting people, he's penetrating. He understands that you got to get some numbers from the line.
Finally, Kittles got one from outside. 45% shooting for New Jersey. Boston shooting 53% from the field.
I like the confidence in which Kittles is shooting. I also like the confidence in Richard Jefferson. But again, getting back to Pierce, I mean, that guy, he's getting double teamed, he's getting assists, he's doing a little bit of everything right now. He's doing whatever he wants, not what the New Jersey Nets want him to do.
McCarty cleans it up and throws one up, and Aaron Williams is right there. That's turnover number 6 for Boston. Jefferson! Richard Jefferson just rattles the rim.
Pierce has been doing is also getting to the free throw line so they don't get a chance to get out and exploit their speed. Every time they get to the free throw line, it takes away a fast break opportunity. But right here, missed shot, turnover, they are out running. This is like a track team right here, a 440 relay team.
And the thing that's very interesting about it, too, is McCarty threw up that bad shot. He might have been better off taking the violation if the clock's going to run out and then have to inbound the ball as opposed to igniting that fast break basket on the part of the Nets.
New Jersey's on a 7-1 run. They have finally dug out of that 8-point deficit hole, and they lead by a point. Jefferson with Kenyon Martin now not in there with some foul issues and 3 and a technical on top of that. They've had to go to guys like Jefferson, who's filled that void pretty well.
And he's playing with a lot of confidence tonight. And Richard Jefferson in the open court is spectacular. When he gets that half-court game going, they're a tough team to beat. He's playing with confidence coming off the screen, confidence in his jump shot, and it always helps to get easy opportunities in the fast break to make that basket bigger.
See, from looking at this, the Nets are extending their defense. They don't want the Celtics to take their time and get precision baskets. They'd like to step the pace up and put it at a pace that they feel comfortable with.
Here they go with that full-court pressure. They break it with McCarty at the other end. And Antoine Walker for 3. While chasing it, stepped out of bounds.
It's a good play to step out of bounds. A good touch. It would have stopped the fast break, but that's a good shot by Antoine. He's wide open in transition, no contest. You got guys on the glass to run it down. Just a bad bounce off the rim.
3 rebound advantage for New Jersey in the game so far. They still have no one in double figures. 9 points by Jefferson. Here's Rogers. Rodney Rogers coming off the bench, 5 points and a couple of assists.
No, and that shot is there. Anytime they come around on the outside, they're going to be able to get that shot because the Celtics are still putting emphasis on cutting off the inside.
See a little zone by New Jersey here to finish the half.
Walker. Dealt. Pierce. And outside, Walker for 3 again. Stepped out of bounds. 7 turnovers now.
Stepping out of bounds is a lot better than getting a turnover because the Nets are out of here on the turnover. They're running, at least when you step out of bounds, the Nets have to inbound and you can put your defense up.
Good unselfish play by Paul Pierce. Pierce is having a fantastic game right here, keeping his team, creating offense for others. They knock down those shots. They're right in here.
Pierce a game high 17. Kerry Kittles with the miss. Rebound by Antoine Walker, a difference of 4 seconds. Game clock and shot clock. 65% shooting by New Jersey in this quarter has put them on top by 3. Rebound by Kidd. Final seconds as Jason Kidd sifts his way through the Boston defense.
The one thing to stop that fast break was the clock. Playing for 1 shot.
We've had an 11-point turnaround in this first half. Kidd looking. Delt deflects the pass, and that takes us to halftime. Nice defense by Tony Delt. This Kidd was looking for the alley-oop. But New Jersey closes the half on a 9-1 run. And they lead at halftime 49-46. As we go to Cheryl Miller.
You were able to take the lead. What was the difference the last minute and a half defensively?
You know, we had to switch it up. Paul started getting to the free throw line. So we went into that zone, and that helped us a little bit. But, you know, we just all had to pick up the slack for Kmart. He got 3 tough fouls, and, you know, Rodney Rogers, Aaron Williams, they all picked it up.
What adjustments do you make for the second half? He has, you know, Paul Pierce 17 points, but as you mentioned, 15 trips to the free throw line, too much.
It's tough, the way they're calling it. You know, Kenyon got 3 fouls. You have to adjust to the way the refs are calling it, but, you know, we still have the lead. I think they're shooting a better percentage than us, so if we can calm down a little bit and play a better defense, we'll be all right.
Good luck second half.
Thank you.
Richard Jefferson, who is the son of Christian missionaries, one of the great young rising stars in the NBA and one of the most improved players, Ernie Johnson, in the NBA, and the defending Eastern Conference champion New Jersey Nets lead by 3 at halftime as we swing it to you in our studios. Airlines Arena. This is the first game, round 2, NBA playoffs, Eastern Conference semifinals, the New Jersey Nets and the Boston Celtics. New Jersey leading at halftime by 3. They're coached by Byron Scott, who's with our Cheryl Miller.
Coach Scott, you're up by 3 points. What adjustments do you make for the second half?
Well, the one adjustment is keeping Paul off the line so much. You know, he's gotten to the line 15 times. You know, we got to do a better job. The one thing that we wanted to do when he got the ball is our 5-man be a little bit more active as far as our help. We don't want to leave Walter alone in the corner and those other guys alone. But I thought we did a good job of coming back. You know, we got to limit them offensively to getting these easy buckets. And other than that, we're in good shape.
Good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Let's send it back to you, Kevin.
All right, Cheryl, thank you. 11 of 15 shooting for Paul Pierce from the free throw line with his game-high 17 points. No one in double figures so far for New Jersey. As we take a look at our Jeep halftime statistics with Danny Ainge and John Thompson. This is Kevin Harlan. And we welcome you back to East Rutherford, New Jersey. What about Paul Pierce, Danny? He's living up to everything we thought we'd see in this series with the Nets.
Well, Paul Pierce is definitely one of the 10 best players in the NBA today, but he's not only scoring, getting to the free throw line, as Byron Scott said, but he's making assists, getting his teammates involved. There's a triple team right there. Walter McCarty, there's no one on the same court as him. Beautiful pass by Walker, a little non-communication play. Penetrate again, there's Walter McCarty. There's nobody even close to Walter McCarty, and that's because of all the attention Paul Pierce is drawing. He's got confidence in his teammates, and that's critical for them to have long-term success.
Well, the Celtics begin the second half in the midst of their 3rd field goal drought of the game of 3 minutes or more.
This pace is to the liking of the Celtics, and the Nets want to be successful. They've got to force the tempo a little bit. Celtics are isolating them with post-ups and 2-on-2s.
Pierce drives down the lane, and that's how Boston begins, and he's got a game-high 19.
And what a beautiful execution coming out of the timeout. We heard Byron Scott say they want the center to be more active and involved, and the center's typically on the weak side block. That time the center was out at the top of the key. Jason Collins way out of position to help Paul Pierce on the drive.
And here is Collins out there with Kittles, Jefferson, Martin, and Kidd. It's Kerry Kittles for 3. And for New Jersey, just their 3rd three-point hit in this game.
No, and that's what they have to do. They have to make baskets, extend their pressure, try to force the tempo a little bit more. And that, again, is terrible defense.
Here's again, John, 21.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, you can't come down and let the Celtics score that easily, because that's going to stop you from fast breaking.
Celtics with Walker, Battie, McCarty, Pierce, and Tony Delk to begin the second half here in the Meadowlands. Kenyon Martin with 3 fouls. He is scoring. He is playing well. He is the first net to get in double figures, but the 3 fouls have curtailed his game.
Right. Well, he's got 10 points. He's only played just over 10 minutes, 11 minutes now. And, you know, getting back to Pierce, you know, that's one question I had going into the series. Kerry Kittles is so much lighter than Paul Pierce, and we saw how he exploited him on the post on that last possession. And why isn't Richard Jefferson? Can Richard Jefferson not defend Paul Pierce better with his strength of body?
Here's Kittles launching a 3 gun. And Kerry Kittles has come out red hot to begin the second half with a New Jersey high 12. And the Nets have their biggest lead tonight of 7 over Boston.
For a guy that likes to dominate the ball the way Jason Kidd does, he releases it very fast, and that's one of the reasons why guys will run.
Antoine Walker. Now he's got 10, and Boston has 3 in double figures. And Kittles is feeling it. Walker will be patrolling down low defensively and meet Martin head on. That doesn't stop Kenyon Martin.
That was like an 8-foot left-handed finger roll up off the glass. That was a spectacular shot by Martin.
Couldn't tell whether it was an afterthought or a conscientious effort on his part, but he made it, and that's the most important thing.
So Walker right there wanted to steamroll him as New Jersey has started the second half 4 of 4.
And I don't know why they don't go at Martin. Right here, they're going to try to post him up. There's the double team coming, but Martin does not want to foul.
It's Kidd. And Kittles for three. Kerry Kittles is a flamethrower. And he has sparked New Jersey to their biggest lead tonight.
Kerry Kittles is huge for this team. He's coming up big to start the second half.
What'd you tell him before the game, Danny?
I told him to think like an ISTP brain type.
Which is what?
Fearless.
And he has been fearless so far. And the Nets on top by 10.
Nice move.
Mom, Dad, we're here. Oh, great.
Oh.
The Hyundai Sonata with America's best warranty.
Boy, am I hungry.
When life keeps getting better, you win.
Give me a backpack.
NBA action in high definition. Experience NBA basketball like never before. It's so real you can touch it. Now, NBA TV comes to you in state-of-the-art high definition. You'll have to see it to believe it. Watch the world's greatest athletes, larger than life. NBA TV in high definition. Now available daily on DirecTV and EchoStar. It's fantastic.
The NBA playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Hyundai. When your car comes with America's best warranty, you win. Hyundai. And Sprite. Obey your thirst.
Coming up next on TNT, the world champion Lakers against top seed San Antonio. Tomorrow, ESPN, Philly, Detroit, Sacramento, Dallas. That last game's on ESPN2. Wednesday, back here, Boston, New Jersey, Lakers, and San Antonio. A sledgehammer on the Celtics, their coach, Jim O'Brien, moments ago.
Don't stop moving. Let's get it into single digits and keep it there until we win the basketball game.
Well, they've been hit with the right, Danny, and maybe a left on top of that.
Well, Kerry Kittles, he's a great shooter. That's the only guy on the team on the floor right now. Lucius Harris is another one that can do that kind of damage that quick to you. You got to make sure you find him in transition. But he's a killer, an assassin outside shooter, and he was the same way against Milwaukee.
Here's McCarty began the game with a couple threes for Boston.
And this is what Jim O'Brien talked about. He wanted a lot of movement out there.
Ooh, big shot by Antoine Walker, and the Celtics have hit 4 3-point shots.
Well, I wasn't real impressed with the offensive execution coming out. You get a hash mark jump shot with the shot clock running out. One thing he did get was ball movement and people movement. But when you got Walter Carter dribbling the ball like that out of the top of the feet, that's not a good sign.
Good job mentally. They needed that shot.
Well, they definitely needed it mentally, particularly with the momentum changing for the Nets. The one thing he said also in the huddle that we heard is to keep it in single digits. You keep it in single digits, Paul Pierce can win it for you by himself.
Each team now with 7 turnovers. Here comes Boston. They're shooting 49%. And they got Walker again, launching another 3. Rebound by Kittles, and the rebounding edge is 5 now for New Jersey in this game.
And that's a better shot. You know, I mean, he made the one before was a low position shot. I mean, that's a good shot. And that would have been huge if he could have made that. Take this crowd out for a while.
They got Patino on Martin. They did this in the regular season, but Martin still exploits the matchup and puts it in. And Kenyon Martin has put in 6 in this third quarter. Kerry Kittles has put in 9. They have scored all 15 New Jersey points in the third.
And that's where the Celtics do not want Kenyon Martin to have an opportunity to take a shot. They would prefer him take the deep jump shots, which he's doing a good job on, but they do not want him in that close to the basket because he's so quick to getting back, even getting a second shot on a rebound.
Petit picks up the foul. Danny, what about the change now? Petit on Martin as opposed to Antoine Walker.
Well, Petit is their best low post defender. He's got longer, better athleticism than Walker.
Here comes McCarty. Off the Paul Pierce, finds he has some room and tries to exploit that. Does, and counted for 2 and a foul. And a game-high 23 for Paul Pierce, who has put in 6 himself against Byron Scott's Nets in this third.
And guess who's back on the foul line again?
That's right, Pierce. And Collins now has 4 fouls for New Jersey.
Good call by the officials, too. Collins did not get his shoulder square in front of Pierce. Pierce, I tell you what, this guy is legit. They are trying to do everything they can to stop him. He's the total focus of this New Jersey defense, and he's still getting it done.
And here is how Paul Pierce has made his 23 tonight. That's the defender.
I didn't even talk about the fouls, putting him on the line. That's just the baskets he's made, because right now they're Kerry Kittles is guarding him almost every time down the court, but they're switching off as they run pick and rolls, and as he drives to the basket, everybody's getting a little bit of help, but he scored 3 or 4 of those baskets on 3 or 4 people.
Paul Pierce is the only one who's gone to the free throw line tonight for Boston. He is 11 of 16 as they go inside. Petit knocking it away. Kidd spoon feeds Aaron Williams. It's a second try. Silent try by Martin will not go. It's Antoine Walker grabbing the ball.
And Paul Pierce is a difficult guard because of the fact that he can get to the free throw line, he can shoot standing, he can penetrate, he's got a mid-range game also.
Nice block by Kenyon Martin, 3-on-2, led by Captain Kidd. Down the lane and knocked away with a Boston foul, as that's the only way you can get in front of him.
Well, this is great defense, but you know, Kenyon Martin was called for a foul for a lot less contact early in the half. Right there, great block, excellent defense, but I like the fact that Antoine Walker went out to try to get his 4th foul.
Well, it shows that he's conscious of the fact that he is in foul difficulty in doing that. But, you know, you really have to give praise to Jason Kidd. We talk about the speed, the intensity of the game, but this guy is good in half-court sets. He's good in transition. His judgment is terrific at pacing the ball game.
Delk picked up his 2nd foul. We saw that Antoine Walker picked up the technical foul. Here's Kidd now shooting 2. And the Nets, who have led by as many as 10, lead now by 9. Boston has led by as many as 8 tonight.
You know, calling the low post game in the NBA, the officials, it is the hardest thing in the world to do. You know, there's so much contact. These guys are so good and so big and strong. And that time, Antoine Walker felt that there was a lot more contact on his play than the one where Petit was called for a foul on the play before. And getting consistently down there and calling that low post action is so difficult. Yeah, I'm defending the officials, John.
No,
I'm stunned right now.
I had to look to my right to see who was sitting over there.
I too, John. It's a turnover. And that is a foul. And that goes on Tony Petit. And he has 4 personal fouls. For Boston, the 4 by Petit, certainly the most. They got 3 on Eric Williams. And they've got, on New Jersey's side, Martin with 3 and Jason Collins with 4. That brings you up to date on some foul issues. New Jersey comes the other way, shooting 51% for the game, led by the 15 of both Martin and Kittles.
You know, now Boston has 5 offensive guys out there on the court with Walter McCarty at the center position and Eric Williams and Tony Delk playing off of Walker.
Boston at 48%. McCarty again nails a 3, and he has lived by the 3-point shot tonight. He's got 14 for the games. He's knocked in 4 3-point shots.
And they still won't guard him. I mean, right there, again, moving to center, they relying on their center to help on Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker.
Kenyon Martin banks that baby home, and the Nets again by 10.
You know, that's the shot that they say they want Kenyon Martin to take, but I think you're going to have to reevaluate that if he becomes as consistent as he's becoming with his outside shooting.
17 for Martin. That is a New Jersey high. Look at the weaving Paul Pierce, kicking it out to Delk. Closed by Kidd. Down the lane goes Tony Delk of the Boston Celtics.
Did you see how many people went to Pierce on that drive? It opened up everything. Tony Pierce had a lay-in, a 3-point shot, or he could have kicked it to a teammate for a wide-open shot as well. He had anything he wanted.
Martin. Walker there, flips it outside, good screen by Williams. That sets up the shot by Jefferson and a Delk rebound. And Boston trying to get some speed to their offense. Nice move by Walker. Dishing to Williams for three. And the Boston Celtics nail another three-point shot. Williams off the bench, 9 points in 10 minutes. And a one-time New Jersey lead of 11 is down to 5.
Well, Paul Pierce comes off the screen and rolls, splits 2 guys right there. There's 3, there's 4 guys helping to him. Look at the New Jersey defense scrambling all over there. Aaron Williams doesn't know where to go.
Oh, and the defense has been better. You look there, they're putting good pressure. They're up. They're going to rebounding and being able to get out and anticipating, looking for steals. That's the way Jersey wants to play, steals and rebounds.
Hudson comes. Oh, Kobe stole it away. Put it away.
I told you she had a boyfriend. The Hyundai Tiburon, with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you can be counted on, you win.
From out of the darkness, a glowing light emerges, searching to find an answer. A spark of hope in a sea of despair, fighting to engulf approaching shadows. As the fire is instilled to burn all it opposes, a judgment looms in the balance. Who is next to extinguish the flame and ignite the next spirit to blaze?
WWE Judgment Day, live May 18th on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View on DirecTV.
Want the most entertainment choices at home?
Wow.
The Total Choice Premier Package from DirecTV delivers over 185 channels of the best we have to offer.
Really?
Including all of our premium services, HBO, Stars, Showtime, Cinemax, and Sports Pack. It's more movies, more original programming, more sports, more of everything at a great value. Total Choice Premier puts the maximum choice in your hands. Visit DirecTV.com or call 1-800-DirecTV and order today.
USA Today is the place for a comprehensive look around the league. Get all the latest scores, stats, standings, and daily game recaps to keep you up to date with your favorite teams and players. So pick up your copy of USA Today every day.
Coming up next, Game 1, Round 2, Western Conference semifinals. The MVP, Tim Duncan, against Kobe, Shaq, and the Los Angeles Lakers. That's up next right here on TNT with Danny Ainge, John Thompson, Cheryl Miller. This is Kevin Harlan. Spurs won that series, regular season, 4-0.
The worst nightmare for San Antonio is Derek Fisher has a series like he had in the playoffs 2 years ago when he was 15 for 20, like he did against Minnesota. That will be difficult for the Lakers.
Here's a shove and a foul. Richard Jefferson down low. He's caught for New Jersey with the foul away from the ball, and he picks up his second. New Jersey's big lead of 11, 68-57. Boston is on an 8-2 run, and they have cut the New Jersey lead to 5.
Well, Paul Pierce, a three-point play. Walker, a huge 3 coming out of the timeout, and Walter McCarty knocked down a 3 right back into it.
Some transition defense for you.
Well, and that's exactly what Jersey wants. They want to be allowed to run and get down and get 17-2 as far as transition defensive baskets are concerned. But I tell you what, this pace is still at the pace to the liking of the Celtics, because the Celtics still have not been able to get to a point where they've given up so many fast breaks that the Nets can just break away from it.
Kenyon Martin has deflected passes all over the place. Kicking one, get that one out of bounds right there, ricocheting off his body. Shot clock is down to 10.
He's a high-energy, athletic, defensive-minded guy.
Speaking of high energy, what about Paul Pierce?
He's just going around Kittles, and so the defense has to come over and help, and he's putting all the big guys in foul trouble because he's so much stronger than Kittles. Right here, it's just, excuse me, get out of my way. No shot blockers.
Aaron Williams just picked up a foul. That was a club run by Williams.
And it was smartness on Pierce's part because he jumped, elevated, saw Williams' hands in the air, Kevin, and just attacked his arms. And that he goes to the basket with the idea that I'm going to come away with something.
Pierce tonight is 13 of 18 from the line. The Celtics are 13 of 18. In other words, he's the only one who's taken free throws tonight for Boston.
I mean, it's just a tough matchup for Kerry Kittles. He does a good job defensively, but he's quick. But he's so much lighter. I'll be surprised if Jason Kidd isn't guarding Pierce down the stretch.
Kittle's missing badly there. Jefferson cleans up against the offensive rebound. A mid-flight feeds to Martin, who finds a wall of green. It's back out to Kidd. 5 minutes to play in the third. Kittles.
The perimeter jump shot is definitely there to put the Celtics close the middle up so quickly right now.
Loose ball foul on Boston. I think it was on Antoine Walker.
That's because Kenyon Martin is so athletic and active. He's all over the place.
That is the second on him. Leading score 25 for Pierce, 17 for Martin for New Jersey. Those are the guys that are on top of the scoreboard so far. Richard Jefferson. Gets it.
Closing the floor again, Kevin. They want the Nets to take that outside shot.
Well, lost the ball, and when he made that hesitation, he had a couple of New Jersey players collapse on him, including Richard Jefferson, who was tagged for his third foul of the game.
The team defense of the Celtics definitely has become a lot more alert than it was early in this ball game, because they definitely had defined the Nets to take the outside shot and trying to take away the inside.
Pierce over Kittle. Oh, he's torching Kerry Kittles with every dazzling move, and he has brought the Celtics to within one. A 10-point third quarter for Paul Pierce.
And that's why Jim O'Brien said, just keep it close.
Williams outside, counted for 2 and a foul.
Great execution right there. Kerry Kittles, good pass to Aaron Williams for the dunk. But right here, again, we just keep talking about the size. And he can get a shot when he wants. Kerry Kittles does everything that he could possibly do defensively with his size, takes away crowds and puts it on the floor, gets up and contests his shot. He's just 3 inches shorter, 20 pounds lighter.
12 free throw attempts for New Jersey, 18 attempts for the Boston Celtics, all courtesy of Paul Pierce. Pierce has that graceful, rhythmic move, Danny, when he gets in that little jump and that little bob and weave. It's so fun to watch, setting up for his shot.
When you're 6'7" or 6'8", and you can shoot that beautifully and draw and beat off the dribble and change directions going full speed and know how to initiate contact going to the basket. I mean, he's just a complete offensive package.
What was the story? He lasted at number 10 because he told a lot of teams he didn't want to go and didn't even practice for a lot of teams in the draft that year. Falls to number 10, much to Rick Pitino's surprise.
Oh, well, that was the best thing that's happened to Boston in the last 5 years, of acquisition of Paul Pierce, and that he fell to 10.
He's a good one.
Well, he's a very good one, but also that's about the second opportunity that Martin has missed trying to dunk as opposed to just laying it up.
You know, the 2 best players in that draft that came out, in my opinion, are Pierce and Nowitzki, and they went 9 and 10.
What a move by Pierce there to shake the defense of Kittles. Here's Kidd, lasering a pass to Martin. Broken up nicely by Antoine Walker, and out of bounds it goes. Nice defensive play for Antoine Walker. John, how has Boston done tonight in getting back to foil that big rush the other way by New Jersey's offense?
Well, I think they started to do a little bit better, but the problem is Jason Kidd. When Jason Kidd is in the game, they don't get back as well. The best thing again of getting back is making shots by the Celtics.
Turnovers now even at 9. Pierce, rebound by Williams, rebounding tonight, +7 for New Jersey.
You know, Boston shoot 51% from the field. You're exactly right. They haven't shot anywhere close to that in the last 9 games. The best they have shot against them, including the playoffs last year, was 43%.
What a pass by Delk. Before that, Pierce. And Boston is in rhythm. Moments ago, down by 11. Now the Celtics down by a point. And 11 points in the game for Eric Williams.
Well, and I definitely feel that Delk would like a fast-to-pace game. The Celtics are doing a good job because they cannot play fast with this team. They'll get in trouble if they continue to try to push the ball. But O'Brien is getting exactly what he wants, you know, in this ball game. He's taking his time isolating like he is right here, getting what he wants, penetrating and pitching.
Here they come, 3-on-2. Kidd down the lane. Rebound off the fingertips of Pierce and Jefferson. It's off Jefferson, and Boston on a 14-2 run, 14-4 run right now. They'll take it the other way.
Oh, and that was reminiscent of Linda Ronstadt, Blue Bayou right there. Just ran down the court. He was 20 feet behind those guys and beat everybody down the court.
Boston for the game, shooting 51%. Pierce held. Nope, foul on Boston. And away from the ball. Well, they're going to call it on Paul Pierce. That's a second on Paul.
It's just amazing how the range of Paul Pierce's offensive game has improved, though. And I thought Danny made a hell of one off earlier about his passing ability. Makes him as much of a threat because you're so petrified to help.
The ex-Kansas Jayhawk has put in 27 tonight.
It'll be interesting to see how much energy Paul Pierce has. Everybody talks about defense and how much energy it takes, and it does compete. The hardest thing to do in this league is to score points, especially when you're being double-teamed and guarded like Paul Pierce.
3-second violation. New Jersey has missed 9 of their last 10 shots. They're struggling right now.
If this was an NFL combine camp, Jason Kidd would be the #1 pick in the draft right there. He just blows by everybody. 3.9 seconds from the far corner to the rim.
That's a good one. Eric Williams on Aaron Williams, no relation, and picked up by Jefferson. Here comes Kidd ahead of goal. Well, sometimes, Danny, these guys can't hold on to the pass. It has such speed and velocity on it.
But they never do not run, because they will be rewarded if they run.
Those passes have like a vapor trail in back of them.
Well, sometimes, Jason takes so many chances, and he is such a unique player. You got to live with 3 or 4, sometimes even 5, depending on the pace of the game, of his turnovers.
And if you're a running team, you can't be afraid to run. You can't be afraid to take chances. Jason Kidd's first step and his first reaction is as important as his speed, and also his release off of the dribble is extremely quick. He can get it out of the host but fast.
Jefferson is out. Lucius Harris has come in for New Jersey. Here's J.R. Bremer in the game, taking the place of Delk. It's Pierce again, dancing on Kittles. What a battle that has been tonight. All by Pierce with every possession, basically, and a foul is on a frustrated Kittles. I mean, what can you do? Wipe the sweat from your brow and dig in further. That's the second on
But
Kittles.
that's the beauty of him. He comes up with something, Kevin. He doesn't just sling it up at the basket.
And right here, you wonder, Kenyon Martin or Kittles, or even Jason Kidd a little stronger, but he just goes right around Kittles. Kittle is so thin, and Paul Pierce is just quick off the dribble. He's long off the dribble, and I'll be surprised if we don't see someone else defending him or someone running at him sooner before he puts the ball on the floor, before it's too late.
John, have you ever seen one player take all the free throws for his respective team for almost 3 quarters? I don't think I've ever seen it.
No, I haven't seen that either, Kevin, but the same token, you have to give him a lot of credit for that, because he comes to the basket. He holds the ball a lot for them, but he also comes up with something. He doesn't just throw the ball at the basket. He gets a basket, gets a foul, makes a play with a pass.
Here comes New Jersey shooting 45%. We told you Boston at 50% firing from the field. Pierce a game high 29, 12 in this quarter. Kenyon Martin trying to carve his way inside. Double team, triple team. That pass is picked off. Eric Williams. And here comes J.R. Bremer. Under a minute to play in the third quarter. The Celtics, who trailed by 11 in this quarter, lead by 1.
What a great defensive sequence for the Celtics right there.
No fouls to give either way. Pierce again. Boston as he tried to dive into the paint. It's a turnover. Boston has turned it over 5 times in this quarter. New Jersey 6 turnovers. Kidd off bounce. And picked up by Kenyon Martin.
Well, that looked like a horrible shot by Jason Kidd, but what they were trying to do was get 2 possessions for 1. So at about the 36-second mark, he took up the shot. They're able to get it back, and they cannot play for 1 yet. Boston will get a second opportunity here.
New Jersey has missed their last 8. And Harris tries to erase that drop. 9 straight New Jersey misses from the floor, and Boston will get the final shot of the quarter.
And the Celtics' defensive game plan is implemented correctly. They're trying to force the outside shot. Certainly you don't want Harris to take it or Kittles to take it. Take away the transition baskets and get these, again, get shots themselves.
Pierce missing at the buzzer, and that takes us to the 4th. The electrifying Paul Pierce with a 12-point third quarter, 29 for the game, and he fuels Boston's 16-4 run to close out the quarter. The Celtics by 1 at the end of 3. You're watching the playoffs on TNT.
When athletes sweat, they lose more than just water. Gatorade puts back sodium and potassium, proven to replenish and rehydrate athletes better than water. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Little boy asks his neighbors why they're always working on their yard. Neighbor looks up. Nothing more relaxing. Nothing wrong with getting your hands dirty, she adds. Little boy's dad asks how they manage it all. Neighbor nods across the yard. Nothing runs like a deer. John Deere lawn and garden tractors. Durability, precision, versatility, and exclusive support for everyone who puts more into their yard and expects more out of their tractor.
They out there with the fun out there. We gonna hit out there with nothing to fear. Tear up the spot, get hot to make it rock. Always start here with the clear. Yo, number one, you gotta get with your real ones. Two, what you do is pop a couple of clear ones. Number three, call up a breezy. Four, on the floor, maintain the high score. Five, feeling alive, we jump into the ride, which brings us to six at the venue in the mix. They out there with the fun out there, make it last out there. I'ma start with the clear.
I believe we can end it.
Touch me, and that hand will never touch anything again.
He's found a way to copy himself. Me too. Oh, you fellas?
They need you.
I need you.
The Matrix Reloaded.
You can't beat us. Join us.
Rated R. Starts Thursday, May 15th.
Don't we need broccoli? I think I need a haircut.
Kids who can't wait to go on everyday errands?
How are we on gas?
Here's why. Bank One introduces Disney's Visa credit card. The new way to turn your everyday spending into magical Disney rewards. Disney's new Visa card.
You don't know what I had to do to get here.
Only from Bank One.
Welcome back to the Meadowlands, East Rutherford, New Jersey. These are the NBA playoffs on TNT with Danny Ainge, Cheryl Miller, and Hall of Fame coach John Thompson. This is Kevin Harlan. We're going to start the fourth quarter with Boston on top by a point. Jim O'Brien is the coach of Boston. Here is how his team is shooting, defending, rebounding, and right on down the line. Danny, what do you see there that is leading you to this Boston one-point lead?
Well, the free throw differential we've talked a lot about, but the field goal percentage, 49%. We talked about that. They had like 5 games in the last 9 where they shot less than 36%. So that is enormous to shoot 49% at this stage of the game. The question I have is Paul Pierce is how much fuel is in that tank. He had to start his sprint a little bit early when they got behind 11 midway through the third. I believe he's going to need a short burst, but when can Jim O'Brien afford that?
Not now.
There's Lucius Harris out there with Aaron Williams, Rodney Rogers, Kenyon Martin, and Jason Kidd hopping from atop the key. Picked up by Antoine Walker out there with Pierce, J.R. Bremer, McCarty, and Tony Batiste. And here comes Walker wheeling inside, and a foul on New Jersey. As we start this fourth quarter, Boston on top, Cheryl Miller by 1. What do you have?
Kevin, headed into the fourth quarter, Coach Scott kept emphasizing, take your time running your offense. Let's get some reverse passes, swing the ball side to side, be patient, execute, and stop turning the ball over.
Hey, Cheryl, here's an interesting one. Here's Antoine Walker at the free throw line. He is the first Celtic, John, other than Paul Pierce, to attempt a free throw tonight.
And he tried to get that on the break. The Celtics haven't been trying to break. He saw himself isolated and baited for the foul, very similar to what Paul Pierce has been doing. But this tempo is to the liking of the Celtics right now. I think the Nets want to force the pace as much as they can and try to generate some fast breaks.
No field goal from either team for over 3.5 minutes. Pierce knocking it away, and a New Jersey turnover with Walker galloping for Boston by Rogers. And a foul on Rodney Rogers with a little hand check on the perimeter. So we got a 2-point Boston lead. Ernie Johnson, as we send it to you down in Atlanta in our studios.
Yes, and we will have game 2 of our doubleheader, guys. Shaquille O'Neal and the Lakers venturing to San Antonio to meet David Robinson and the Spurs. San Antonio swept the season series, but the Lakers have dominated them in the postseason the last 2 years. Kevin?
RDJ, thank you. Here's Lucius Harrison. 3-3. Rebounded by Antoine Walker.
What a great pass by Jason Kidd. Underneath the defense all the way to the cross corner. Lucius normally makes that shot.
Inside Battie, who pumps it down. Tony Battie. He's got 4. The Celtics have gone through a pretty good drought. And a timeout taken with Boston leading by 4. They've led by 8. New Jersey in the second half has led by as many as 11. This is game 1, round 2, Eastern Conference semifinals.
Filter what you don't need. Keep what's good. MGD.
Nothing has changed. Everything has changed. The all-new 265 horsepower Nissan Maxima.
Looks like we got ourselves another situation down here.
One man risks it all to save a town.
Tell your boss I'm coming to get him.
Don't miss Steven Seagal in Fire Down Below. Saturday at 8. One of the Saturday night new classics on TNT.
The next 60 seconds could change your life forever.
I want to make more money.
I want more leisure time.
Greater income and freedom can be yours. And Debit Corporation of America has the key. Your own wholesale distribution business.
I want to be my own boss.
I want to feel good about what I do.
I want to kiss the rat race goodbye.
Debit Corporation of America has an opportunity now that you must explore. A turnkey operation that can give you greater income and freedom than you've ever known. Call now for all the facts and turn your life around.
I want to call the shots.
I want to be able to take time off when I want to. I want to change my life.
Discover a ground floor opportunity that can put you in control of your life. For your free information package and video, call now and see how you can give your family everything you've ever dreamed of. The call is free, so don't delay.
I want an end to my financial worries.
I want the American dream.
And I want it now.
For an incredible business opportunity and a new life, call Debit Corporation of America. Areas are selling fast, so call now.
I'm going to call today.
Here's how this Boston, New Jersey series best of 7 stacks up. We've got game 2 for you on Wednesday. You also see game 3, 4, and 5 all on TNT. We've got 10:37 to play in this 4th quarter. New Jersey has missed their last 11 shots. No field goals in the last 5 minutes and 43 plus seconds. It's Harris trying to slip it inside to Rogers, who finds Aaron Williams. Another New Jersey turnover. And a traveling violation on Walter McCarty of Boston.
Too bad. That was a good call. Great hustle by Brimmer, stripping the ball, diving on the floor, getting it out to Walter, but Jason Kidd covered a lot of ground.
Well, and if you look at this, I mean, their team defense inside, they've got everything congested, not giving the Nets anything outside, permitting them to beat them outside. I mean, inside, they're cutting it off. Outside is where they wanted to be.
It's Kidd slashing inside and had that little scoop shot rejected by Battie. Shot clock at 12, big clock at 10:08.
Which is a contrast, Kevin, to early in the game, because the Celtics were giving up inside baskets early in the game, but now they're making you pay a price inside.
He got early foul trouble, but has flexed his offensive muscles. In the second half of this game, Rogers trying to work his way into Walker, and Walker picks up the foul for Boston, and that is the 4th on him.
Well, this is what got him by the first series against Indiana was their defense. Look at their defense in the second half. They're scoring nowhere. Only 3 for 7 in the paint, 2 for 10 where they normally shoot their mid-range. And Kerry Kittles, other than Kerry Kittles, they're 0 for 4 from the 3-point line.
Rodney Rogers from the free throw line. Johnny, he's a guy that Boston wanted to keep, but they couldn't afford him. And even though he took less money to come to New Jersey, he is here. And Byron Scott is hoping that the effect of Rogers in these playoffs be the same they were for Boston last year when he wore the green.
Because he can knock down the outside shot, too, and that's one of the things that the Celtics are daring the Nets to do, as well as the fact that he's got the power game inside.
New Jersey's taken 14 free throws. Boston's taken 22 tonight. Here's Walker. Celtics from the floor shooting 49% for Boston. Bremer around McCarty's screen into Kidd, out to Batiste, shot clock at 2, a 3, and a rebound by Rogers. The Nets come the other way, shooting 42%.
Well, since the quarter started, you know, we talked about getting Pierce a blow. He's been getting a blow this 3 minutes because he has not touched the ball yet.
Oh, Aaron Williams throws down a sledgehammer and ties the game at 76.
And sometimes that's a good way to get a good player. Well, use him as a decoy, give him a chest. Don't just wear him out going to him every time. Now the score's tied. I believe he'll touch the ball.
And this is the end that the Nets have to tighten up. If they want a fast break, you've got to make some stops, get some rebounds, get out and push it.
New Jersey is +8 in rebounding tonight over Boston. A foul is called on Aaron Williams, who is tagged with his 4th personal foul right there.
J.R. Bremer is a fearless, tough kid out there and unafraid to take that shot, but Coach O'Brien trusts the shot of Tony Delk. He's made a few more. And, you know, when Tony played with Jason Kidd, he had 53 in a game playing, and Jason was spoon-feeding him for those shots.
And I don't think Tony wants to be a setup guard. He's got offensive abilities. He wants to run fast and push the ball also.
McCarty missing badly, and he's really thrived in 3-point territory. Kidd.
Well, that's good running out at McCarty because he does not put the ball on the floor near as good as he does just spotting up.
A rotation off to Harris, screened by Rogers, who finds himself open for 3. Rebounded by Kenny Martin, who goes against McCarty and out of Boston with 8.5 to play in the game.
Kenny Martin is just a beast down there. He's so physical, quick, and athletic. He gets to so many balls.
And that Celtic defense and daring him to take the outside shot is really working, too.
Batiste picks up a foul as he tries to put the handcuffs on Kenny Martin. That is number 5 on Tony Batiste, and that will quickly bring in Eric Williams off the Jim O'Brien Boston Celtic bench. That's the scoring leading Boston Celtic Paul Pierce with 29 at the top of that, and leading the New Jersey Nets 17 from Kenyon Martin. Jason Kidd has got 8. Kidd has also got 7 assists.
Well, Boston's offense has slowed down, but this is the offensive team that got him in the lead when Batiste went out. There's no question they're a better team with Batiste on the court defensively, but offensively, right now, they have their best lineup out there.
You look at that defense, you see all green shirts in the lane. Right. All green shirts. Only shots they're trying to give away are the shots outside on the perimeter.
Kidd against Delk. A little slap there by Tony Delk. You can hear it all the way over here. And Tony picks up his 3rd foul.
If the team can get to the penalty, could be huge. If Boston only needs 2 more fouls to get into the penalty the rest of the quarter.
How effective was Kenny Anderson last year in the playoffs standing for Boston?
Well, I thought Kenny Anderson was excellent. He was a true playmaker, plus a scorer. He was the definite 3rd option that Boston had. And they've missed him. Even though Jason Kidd tore it up, Tony Delk has done a nice job, and they've had to adjust to the way they play. But I think Pierce and Walker have to work a little bit harder to get their offense.
Into Rogers. What a pass by Aaron Williams.
It was a great pass. And not only was it a great pass, it got him an attempt someplace where they've had a hard time getting an attempt in the lane. You asked about Kenny Anderson. Kenny Anderson's a natural point guard. He thinks pass before he thinks shoot. Tony has a lot of offensive skills and is aggressive, and he's being disciplined to think pass first. He wants to shoot the ball and can do it.
Yes, he can. Rogers 2 of 2 from the strike, now 3 of 3. And the Nets are 12 of 15 from the line. Boston 16 of 22. Jersey back on top. They've been up in the second half by as many as 11. Early in the game, Boston is up by as many as 8.
Like I said, Boston's offense goes in these droughts, and this has been their nemesis right here. And this is how they played a lot against New Jersey. They've had trouble making baskets, but against Indiana, if you remember, 9 straight possessions. At the end of the game, 0 points in an overtime, and they've got to stop these droughts.
Well, Boston has had 4 3-minute droughts in this game. Inside Eric Williams. As soon as we say it, nice pass from on top. And Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce made a great pass. They closed the defense up to stop him from penetrating because he's been hunting and gaining fouls. Then he kills him with the pass.
And 4 3-minute droughts is a lot for any team. Boston, against a team like New Jersey, can't go through that. That's a throw away by Kerry Kittles. Martin began the punt. And ball whistles out of bounds.
Well, I got Paul Pierce in the 10 best players in the NBA, but he's moving up. He's just creating all the offense out here. Good job. Look at all the guys right there. 3, 4 people there. Look how wide open. 3-point line's open. Basket's open.
Hey, why isn't he on the Olympic team?
I don't know, but this kid can play. He is legit.
Did the U.S. championship team last year in the World Championship games hurt him, you think, because they lost and some say embarrassed by their finishes? McCarty launches and misses a 3.
Well, the bottom line is I don't know what happened there last year, but Paul Pierce is a great basketball player. At both ends of the court, creates, shoots. He can play a complimentary role or he can play a star role, whatever he needs to do.
Jason Kidd for 3.
Well, Jason's going to have to take this thing over himself if they're going to, really win it, because that's the 3rd pass he set Martin up. Martin usually can make those baskets, but he's missed about 3 layups making the dunk attempts.
Both teams have hit 3-point shots. 6 apiece. 12 for the game. 6 of 17 for the Nets. 6 of 18 for Boston. From 3-point territory tonight, Martin picks up his 4th. He began the game with 2 quick ones.
Well, and he's telling the official he can't hold me on the screen. He exaggerated the foul. He's got to be a little careful because he came pretty close to making a flagrant foul on Walker that time.
Well, he just ran through the screen. He saw Pierce out there, and then he panicked a little bit. He goes, can't give him an open 3. I'd rather foul anybody than give that guy an open look.
Jefferson scoreless in the second half. 0-2 back in. Rogers is out.
That's what you like about Martin, though. He's a warrior out there.
And now Jason Kidd is guarding Antoine Walker, and Paul Pierce is being defended by Richard Jefferson, a stronger, more athletic body.
It's a 3rd on Paul Pierce.
It's really consistency on the part of the officials, too, because it's almost very simple pushing off. One offensively and one defensively.
Kidd, screened by Collins. Martin, snatching inside. Wipe it away. Foul called on Kenyon Martin of the New Jersey Nets. And that is his 5th personal foul. He has the most fouls of any net, 5, and Tony Battie also with 5 for Boston.
Well, what a beautiful play by Walter McCarty. Rotates out there, sees him coming to him again, because Kenyon Martin is not the shooter that I think he's developing into. Great play by Walter McCarty.
Both teams 2 of 7 shooting from the floor in this 4th quarter as they bring back in Rodney Rogers for Martin.
Probably see Paul Pierce get a lot more touches now that we're coming down the stretch here, because he's just so lethal in what he's been doing, drawing fouls, making plays, and also scoring himself.
Tony Delk for 2.
Well, what New Jersey's doing right now is they're just playing a matchup zone. They're giving you the appearance of a 2-3 zone, but they're just playing man-to-man. And Boston is not recognizing that and taking advantage of Antoine Walker with Jason Kidd defending.
Jefferson stuck on 9 points and 9 rebounds, and that is lost by Rodney Rogers.
And I think Jim O'Brien sees exactly what I'm talking about. He's going to try to get a play.
Timeout taken by the Boston Celtics. These are the Eastern Conference semifinals. A rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals. Missed opportunities in this second half by the New Jersey Nets. The usual from Kidd, not there that time. They go into Martin, he misses there. New Jersey will need that if they want to win tonight. They do lead Boston 81-78.
These at 10 on TNT.
Thanks for making me a fighter. Makes me that much stronger. Harder. Makes me that much
What a move. David Robinson's there. Kidd is going to have another chance. Oh, baby. You gotta love it.
looking at? This is an easy call. Nothing's proven to beat the itching and burning of athlete's foot better than, boom, tough actin Tinactin. It's the only one clinically proven to prevent athlete's foot.
The ruling stands, Tinactin's still the toughest.
Good call. Boom, tough actin Tinactin.
Papa John's grilled chicken Alfredo. You expect the best. We deliver.
Try our new grilled chicken Alfredo, just $10.99. Call us now. We'll be right there.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Thanks for putting it up for me.
No problem.
Sure looks great.
Here we go.
Yeah, I bet this happens all the time.
We are back in New Jersey. Time now for Budweiser's presentation of Danny H's Caught My Eye.
Thanks, Kevin. What a first round. Things catching my eye. What a final 2 games for Detroit's Chauncey Billups, 40 and 37. Without Nick Van Exel yesterday, there would have been no fourth quarter for the Mavericks. Tracy said he was looking forward to the second round. Tracy will be watching the second round on TNT. New Orleans fired the winningest coach in club history. Must have a better plan in mind. Finally, how rare is Tayshaun Prince's emergence in the playoffs? Rare because most coaches won't play young players this time of year.
Nice job by Rick Carlisle and the Detroit Pistons to advance. Here are the big 3 tonight. Mark with 17. He's been plagued by foul problems. Jason Kidd with 11 points. Jefferson with 9 as we come out of that timeout. Boston has missed 8 of their last 10 from the floor. Here's Delt to Pierce. With the game-high 29, Paul Pierce dancing on Kittles. Shot clock at 4. Out of bounds. Thrown away by Boston. The turnovers now. 15 for the Celtics and 16 for New Jersey.
Well, this is the time of the game that you'll see Jason Kidd dominating the ball for the Nets, Paul Pierce dominating the ball for the Celtics.
New Jersey has missed 15 of their last 17 from the floor. Kittles, who began the second half on fire, isn't right there, trying to keep it alive. It's Delt. Nice defense by Rodgers to slow up that break.
Well, Boston's got to find a way to score.
Walker. Off of Jason Collins and out of bounds, and Boston went down with 5:14 to play in the game.
And that's a good shot. Anytime Antoine Walker gets that good of a look, he's got to take it in transition.
And the Nets are blowing too many opportunities. You can't get that rebound and let it go out of bounds, particularly when you got 5:14 on the clock.
Timeout. Williams could not find anyone to inbound to, and he calls a time. It is a 20. Celtics have led by as many as 8, but that was early in the game. New Jersey in the second half is led by as many as 11 points. In the Eastern Conference, it's the Pistons and Sixers. Game 1 ESPN tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then we'll have game 2 of this enticing series, the Celtics and the New Jersey Nets, Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Right after us, we will take you to the Alamo City of San Antonio. We'll watch the 5th seed Los Angeles Lakers and the Western Conference top seed San Antonio Spurs.
Well, we got to get back to the hotel in a hurry. I got to see that game.
No more eating after the game.
Yeah. Boston's got to find a way to get baskets right now and get out of this little drought offensively. That zone has hurt them and taken them out of any sort of rhythm.
Antoine Walker will grind on Jefferson, hooks it inside to Pierce, kicking it outside McCarty. Now Delt, it goes by Rodgers and hits the shot on the fly, and Tony Delt has now 4 points in the game.
Heck of a shot, little teardrop, little half-arm looper there.
A chicken wing looper.
1 point game. Rodgers into McCarty, no call. Delt trying to knock it away. He's feeding the Kittles. McCarty is called for the foul. That is the second on Walter McCarty from Kentucky.
You know, Boston relies a lot on the three-point shot. When the ball comes in right here, we see a little bit of this in the Knicks game. San Antonio, they do a good job of attacking the rotators. And Walter McCarty is not very good at that. Delk is a better spot-up shooter than he is off the dribble, but that was a spectacular play.
You can have good ball movement when 4 guys run after Paul Pierce.
Exactly. Like they do with Tim Duncan.
Exactly.
And like they do with Shaq.
Kittle's in the playoffs, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. It is in the first round as well.
And a good play by Kerry Kittles right there of moving without the ball to get that free throw line. Bad foul by Walter McCarty. You can't bail him out. I don't think he had anywhere to go in there.
Celtics have to be very happy with the position they're in this late in the ball game, particularly with an outstanding player like Paul Pierce.
It's Delk and a screen by Walker and out to McCarty. Kittle's on him. Shot clock at 4. Double team. Antoine Walker trying to slither inside. Here comes Kidd 2-on-2. Great pass to Jefferson. What a shot! Richard Jefferson giving you a different move with every part of his body.
Just make one mistake and they're gone.
Well, I think Jefferson got hit in the face on that shot, too. That's why he's a little upset. But how about Jason Kidd? Can he run a fast break or what?
Great play by Collins blocking the shot of Antoine Walker's drive right here. Collins comes over right here. Beautiful job. Goes up, gets the shot off the shot block. Beautiful pass by Rodney Rogers, and here's the road runner. I don't know what this time is, but that's about a 2.5.
And Jefferson gets his first points in the second half. And New Jersey at home on top in game 1 by 5.
Hey, bro. How was your day?
Sweet. Cold filter what you don't need. Keep what's good. MGD.
Whether it's your dream yard or your first yard, if you do it yourself or have someone else do it. More people buy mowers and tractors from Sears than anywhere else in America. We sell Craftsman, America's #1 mower and tractor brand. And from our wide selection, we'll find what's right for you. The best brands, selection, and service. And right now at Sears, get 0% financing on tractors and mowers until November 2003. Sears. Good life, great price.
Try to win it with a 47-yard field goal attempt.
B, boys and girls, listen up. You can be
bored with the same old wrestling? Then you need to see 2 hours of TNA Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling. With legendary names, today's superstars, and the extreme athletes of the X Division. TNA, Total Non-Stop Action Wrestling. Wednesday nights on pay-per-view.
Playoff basketball, it's different than the regular season.
Over 40 games in 40 nights. TNT, exclusive home of the NBA Western Conference Finals. Win or go home. The drama of the NBA playoffs continues.
On TNT.
TNT.
Looks like we got ourselves another situation down here.
One man risks it all to save a town.
Tell your boss I'm coming to get him.
Don't miss Steven Seagal in Fire Down Below. Saturday at 8. One of the Saturday night new classics on TNT.
Nice.
Fans, a reminder, log on to NBA.com or America Online, keyword NBA.com for exclusive 2003 playoff sections featuring live post-game press conferences, photo galleries, video highlights, and more. Love it live on NBA.com with Danny Ainge, Cheryl Miller, and Hall of Fame coach John Thompson. Kevin Harlan from the Meadowlands. Approaching 4 minutes to play in the game. McCarty, Delk, Antoine Walker, Paul Pierce, and Eric Williams out there for the Boston Celtics.
Well, Boston's in a little bit of a drought. Only 3 for 11 this quarter. No points for Paul Pierce in the 4th quarter, and only 1 for Antoine Walker.
It's Delk for 3. Good! Tony Delk nails it from outside, and he's got 7 points. And Boston has hit 7 3-point shots tonight.
And 3 beautiful passes by Pierce.
And therein lies the danger. There's so much geared toward taking 3-point shots that a 5-point lead meant nothing.
New Jersey out there with Kittles, Martin, Jason Collins, Kidd, and the inbound will come from Richard Jefferson. 12 seconds on the shot clock, 3.5 to play in the fourth. And that was nicely defended. Here comes Pierce, crossing over on Kittles, and Paul Pierce has his first field goal since the 4.5-minute mark of the third quarter.
And that might get him juvenated.
And credit Tony Delk for that, because he jumped out in front of Jason Kidd and denied him the ball, and that's how Paul Pierce was able to get it.
Good point, Kidd for 3. Rebound, Jason Collins, shoved by Antoine Walker, and a foul called on the Boston Celtics. He's got 5.
Well, this is what I was talking about. They're putting pressure on the ball. Tony Delk got over, got in the way. Paul Pierce, as a result of it, reacted very well and completed the break.
And that was a great finish right there. It looked so simple, but he made that crossover. Kittles was going to try to get in front of him and take the charge, offensive balance. Pierce is good.
And it's no secret what they want to do right now. The Nets want to get the ball in the hand of Jason Kidd. That's why Delk was trying to overplay it. Down at the other end, the Celtics want to get the ball in the hands of Paul Pierce, and that's exactly why Jefferson was trying to overplay him.
Collins' first free throw tonight is good. He's a good shooting free throw shooter for his size. He was 7 foot, 84% in the playoffs, and over 76% during the regular season. These are his first points in the second half.
Well, we talked about at the end of the fourth quarter, you could see Paul Pierce, he had expended a ton of energy in the third quarter to get him back from an 11-point deficit. Came out and kind of cruise control, hoping his teammates could carry him for a few minutes of the fourth. But now there's no time for fatigue. Now's when the big boys step up.
Boston is shooting 47% from the field for the game. Walker hasn't scored since early in the third. Putting up a floater right there. Here comes New Jersey and Jason Kidd shooting 41%. Down the lane, Jason Kidd.
That's what you call offensive pressure, folks. My goodness.
Delay game warning on New Jersey. The Nets up by 4.
I hated that offensive possession. You know, Antoine Walker dribbled. I'm not blaming Antoine Walker. There was nobody really moving. Paul Pierce was trying to post. They were fronting him. Not a lot of movement to try and patience on offense.
Pierce. He's got 31. Delk for 3. Tony Delk missing right there. Pierce launching a 3. Every chamber is filled for Paul Pierce, who's put in a game-high 34.
Don't blink. Overplay me if you want to, but don't blink.
Well, Jefferson did a good job on him. Kept him in front of him, and in that stronger body, it's going to wear and tear, or put a little more wear and tear on Pierce.
Approaching 2 to play. And Jason Kidd, guarded by Delk, throws up an air ball, and it whistles out of bounds.
Well, it's kind of a lucky play right there. They just knock it back out. Everyone's taking off looking for the fast break. Paul Pierce gets the lucky, being in the right place at the right time, but knocks down a huge shot.
Eric Williams, outside. Antoine Walker. Missing a 3. Walker tonight, 6 of 20. Jefferson slashing inside. And New Jersey keeps counter-punching Boston every time they come back.
Well, and Jason Kidd can punish you without even scoring. I mean, his reaction is so fast. Jefferson and them get out in the lanes so quickly because they know he's going to reward them.
Williams for 3. Rebound by Kidd. Collins at the other end. And Kittles will set. Kidd got Delk on his heels and takes it inside. They call him for a charge.
Well, that's the thing I love about watching this New Jersey team play, because most teams at this stage of the game, fourth quarter, 3-point lead, 1-point lead, they will slow the game down and take every possession. This team does the opposite. At the end of the games, inside 2 minutes even, they get a loose ball or rebound. They are flying up the court.
And I don't know if Jason Kidd knows the word slow.
Well, it's wise because they're so much better in the open court than they are in the half court.
Pierce with the fake on Jefferson off to Williams, collides inside. And a foul called on New Jersey. The Nets are plus 13 in rebounding tonight over Boston.
We knew that coming into this series. You know, Boston's just not a good defensive rebounding team or offensive. They're one of the worst offensive rebounding teams in the league.
Collins just picked up his 5th foul. And here is a look at Boston's threes, 8 of 24.
Well, and that's what they do. They take those shots, and obviously it's very dangerous regardless of what percentage. Late in a game like this, if they start hitting those threes, they can make up deficits very quickly.
Eric Williams easily trains the first. Is 81% from the free throw line in these playoffs for Boston. And he pulls the Celtics to within 2.
And I like the decision, Eric Williams, right there. Attacking the rotation again. Get to the free throw line, stop the clock. If you take the 3 and miss it, it's another fast break opportunity. Get to the free throw line, get your defense a chance to set up and take the fast break out of the net.
To make it a 1-point game. Timeout New Jersey with 1:02 to play in regulation. Nursing a 1-point lead, 91-90. They've been led by the 17 points of both Kenyon Martin and Kerry Kittles. 34 by Paul Pierce, leading all scorers. You're watching the NBA playoffs on TNT.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's a plant menagerie, a fireworks show that lasts all year long, a place filled with ideas and supplies to make them grow. It's our 1-year plant guarantee, so it doesn't matter what color your thumb is. It's baskets of flowers and bushels of plants. It's the guaranteed low price every day to make every dollar work. It's where the garden in your dreams becomes the garden in your backyard. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Why do I work so hard? So I can play even harder. What's my thirst? Staying on top. What's yours? I love my job.
Ernie Johnson, Studio A in Atlanta. Tim Duncan averaged 19 points and 16 rebounds and 3.5 blocks against the Phoenix Suns. Getting a little pregame action from the Iceman, George Gervin, as Duncan gets ready to take on Shaq and the Lakers next, guys.
All right, EJ, thank you. Coming up next, the 3-time defending world champion Los Angeles Lakers against the San Antonio Spurs. This group just had 2 weeks full of Laker basketball. They were fun to watch. We'll enjoy them in their second round Game 1 matchup with San Antonio. 1:02 to play. Let's get inside some strategy here, Danny. First for New Jersey.
Well, New Jersey's, they usually try to run the bump screens, you know, try to get Kerry Kittles or Jason Kidd with the ball in his hand making a play. Kenyon Martin has been their go-to guy down on the low post.
Danny talks about him. John, what about the Boston Celtics?
Well, I think they want to do what they have been doing. You got to not give up the easy shots, but you want to cut the penetration out and clog the lane up.
Let's start by Antoine Walker, whereas Martin went up.
Well, we saw a little bit of everything. We saw the bump play, we saw pick and roll by Jason, and we saw Kenyon Martin down on the low post to finish the clock, but a good foul right here.
Walker is out of the game, fouling out.
Well, that shows Martin's athleticism. He just went up so hard, so strong. The Celtics were trying to cut the middle off, as I had indicated, but in the same token, Martin is so quick and got there so quickly that they had to foul him.
Walker struggled tonight. You see just 14 points, 2 of 10 shooting in the second half. With his 8 rebounds and for the game, Antoine Walker 6 of 20. Kenyon Martin will be at the free throw line for the New Jersey Nets. 3 of 3 with his 17 points. Walker in these playoffs, 75% from the stripe.
Well, not near the offensive threat, but T coming back in the game for Walker, but a better offensive rebounder. So you got the floor spread with 4 3-point shooters and offensive players, and Petit is there for the offensive board.
No fouls to give either way in the final 45 seconds of regulation.
You see, Martin's been on the bench for a while right now, too. He's probably a little cold right now. He's got to get back into the flow of the game.
Boston has a timeout. New Jersey's got 2. Two-point game.
Paul Pierce is a guy. You got to get in, get the ball away from him as much as you possibly can, because if you overplay him, he's going to hit somebody with a pass. But I doubt if he wants to let it go unless he just absolutely doesn't have an opportunity.
Pierce is trying to call pick and roll, but you see 3 guys that fit in that pick and roll. Walter McCarty's open on the weak side.
For the lead, Tony Delk. Hacked away by Petit, and a foul on Petit of Boston, and he is gone. The second Boston Celtic to foul out of the game.
Not a bad foul by Petit. You got to give him credit. He was working hard to get the offensive board, and you foul the guy that you want to foul in this situation at the end of the game. But you see Pierce running that pick and roll, Coach. They had a triple team on him over there against the zone, but Delk had a good look.
And that's the thing that you like Kenyon Martin about, too, is the fact that he's going to be around that ball late game situation. He got in a position to get an opportunity to be fouled.
We didn't see the real Kenyon Martin in this game, and we haven't seen him. I mean, he was in foul trouble, took him out early in the half, but he is a warrior, and he was dominant against Milwaukee.
And he's one of those guys that has presence. If you don't see him, you're looking for him all the time.
J.R. Bremer will check in for the Boston Celtics as both Walker and Petit have fouled out. And here is Martin at the free throw line, 4 of 5 with his net high 18 points.
And what's really important is you got a small lineup out there. You got Walter McCarty and Eric Williams under the basket, and you want Martin to miss his shot, but if he does, you know, you better make sure you get this defensive board.
Well, the Celtics are putting, I mean, the Nets are putting perimeter defenders in, too, probably thinking the Celtics are going for a 3, taking out Collins, who's done a great job, and putting in Harris, a guy that can make the switches and do the things that he has to do out there.
Boston does not need to score a 3. They want to save their timeout. They only have 1 left. They want to attack the basket, stop the clock, get to the free throw line.
Pierce with the fake and outside Delk thinking 3. Bremer will launch the 3. Good! It's a 1-point game with New Jersey on top, 94-93. The quick foul on Kidd.
Well, Kidd's their best free throw shooter. You don't want to foul him. That was too easy for them to get the ball in the hand. But what a great play by Paul Pierce, pushing it up the court, drawing the attention, and a good decision by Delk. But look at Pierce, drawing all that attention, 2-on-1 on the weak side. Big shot by the rookie.
That's Bremer's first field goal tonight, and it couldn't have come at a better time. The undrafted player from St. Bonaventure.
Well, the Nets went small to cover that kind of play. You might as well have left the big guy, and if the guy's going to get that kind of open shot.
Kidd from the line, 75% in these playoffs, 5 of 5 tonight. New Jersey is 21 of 25 from the free throw line. And Boston is 18 of 24.
I kind of like them doing the same play, get the ball and push it up the court. But, you know, a lot of coaches will call timeout right here and set it up since it's a one-possession game.
That's exactly what Jim O'Brien, the Boston Celtics coach, is going to do. The lead brings a smile to the face of Byron Scott. His New Jersey Nets have a 3-point lead with just under 14 seconds to play in this Eastern Conference semifinal.
I love the way you've decorated in here.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by May 12th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Change the way you move through the world. The V6 Nissan Altima.
Here comes Kidd, 2-on-2. Great catch to Jefferson. What a shot! Richard Jefferson giving you a different move with every part of his body. Right there, Pierce launching a 3. Cool! Every chamber is filled for Paul Pierce.
Don't blink. Overplay me if you want to, but don't blink.
And Jason Kidd has a blank. How about those timeouts, guys? Danny, cover New Jersey.
Well, New Jersey, I still don't think Boston needs to shoot a three-point shot right now, but New Jersey, they have to guard against the three-point shot. They cannot give up a 3. They have to switch all screen and roll action as we're seeing right there. Don't leave anybody uncovered.
For the tie, Paul Pierce Rebound by Martin and quickly fouled on the play. John, is that what you have called?
Well, exactly. I mean, the thing that they did is exactly what they should have done. They stayed out. They didn't give as much help to try to take away the three-point shot. But that, again, shows the value of Martin. Martin comes in and gets the big, strong rebound. Everybody's staying out. No help. They're switching. It's a three-point defensive situation. They don't want the Celtics to get the three, and Paul still almost gets it.
Yeah, see, I don't have a problem. I know they don't have any timeouts left, so you got to go quicker. But with 13.8, that is an eternity. You could take that ball to the basket when they're defending so hard against the three-point line. Who knows? You go to the basket, you may get an and one, but you'll have 8 or 7 or 6 seconds even left. Now they miss one free throw, and that's plenty of time to push the ball up the court. And you don't even need a 3 had he missed the one free throw if they had scored 2.
And particularly when they were in the three-point defense, you're absolutely correct. That's the only disadvantage to it. It leaves you vulnerable for drives.
But having said that, Paul Pierce got a pretty darn good look at the 3.
And having said that, they were successful with it, so it must have been the right strategy, I guess.
Kenyon Martin. Boston is out of timeouts. And trailing by 4 with 5.9 to play in the game. Here they go to McCarty. Let him take the 3. And New Jersey has won the first game in this best-of-7 Eastern Conference semifinal. Our Gatorade player of the game, Paul Pierce, who pours in 34 points and was 15 of 20 from the free throw line. Boston had 5 field goal droughts of 3 minutes tonight, and that was their undoing. Let's go to Cheryl Miller.
Well, Jason, you have to feel that you guys dodged a major bullet. Talk about the defense at the end on Pierce.
Well, at the end, we knew who was going to have it. Pierce was going to step up, and it looked good. It was just a little short, but we dodged a bullet. We did half our job tonight. That was to protect home court. But, you know, free throws was a big, and K-Bar came down the stretch and made some big free throws.
Talk about the play of Kerry Kittles. He was kind of cold early on, but he picked it up in the second half.
Well, everybody was kind of cold, but he came out in the third quarter, and it was big. He got us going. He got the transition game going, and then he opened up by making some threes, and then we just followed the lead. And that's what makes this team so special. You just never know who's going to go big.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Send it back to you, Kevin.
All right, Cheryl, both teams shoot below 45%. A pretty big advantage of plus 14 on the glass by New Jersey, led by the 21.